X-Men Alive. My name is Lionel Miranda. This is
Josh Akins.
That's the man.
Yeah.
And today we are going to discuss our feelings about Age of Sigmar 4th edition. Now, both Josh and I run a lot of events locally, so we have a slightly different perspective, not only playing the game as players, although you probably play more often than I do these days, but also running tournaments. And we also are just super stoked and excited about the next GHB.
Yes.
And we just wanted to do a little quick, how would you say, review or report card.
Yeah, a year in review.
Yeah, because we did this one almost a year ago. Yeah. The edition came out of July last year. So we're almost, what are we, 9, 10? What are we at?
May is this week, so yeah, whatever it is.
Is it May? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so 10
you get
months.
what I'm trying to say, right? So we're almost at a year in. So it's, we just wanted to call some shots, see our feelings, or gauge our feelings as it stands right now, and then revisit again. We're gonna do another video once a GHB lands, and then we'll either be crying tears or be very excited.
Yeah, hopefully excited.
Hopefully excited.
Based on the one reveal we've seen. It's interesting.
It was a very interesting review. For sure. Little teaser, I think, is a better...
Yes, yeah. And then we used AI to figure out what the word said on the...
Enhance. Enhance. Yes, yes,
CSI,
yes.
it's real.
Yes. All right, so how many events have you run so far this year?
This year, well, one a month I've done, so...
Yeah.
So whatever it is, 8 now. I don't know, not 5. 5 this year. I've run, this year.
That's good.
I know how months work.
So I've also done one a month.
Well, I run yours too, so whatever that is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. He helps me.
It's on the computer talking. Anyways.
So we've been running a lot of events, and the one thing that we love. All right, so let's talk about it. First off, let's talk about, because we run so many events, the first thing we always are, as organizers, we're always picking the battle plans.
Yes.
So let's talk about your feelings regarding the battle plans. First off, we'll start off with the positive, or at least I think is a positive.
Yeah.
Terrain layouts.
Oh, the GHB ones are great. I think it works. When the edition came out, people were like, are we going to use these? Is it going to be player placed or whatever? I think GW did a good job with the terrain layouts in the GHBs. They're fair and balanced enough. Obviously, every event's going to have different size terrain and everything, but for the most part, at least provincially, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I thumbs up from my end as well. I really love the fact that they actually have terrain layouts. I know the community was calling for quite a while. It took the 4th edition for us to get there, but I'm happy we're there. I think the terrain layouts bonus. I like the little sprinkling without going a little crazy.
Yeah.
Places of power. And I like how their impact on the game on some battle plans is like really impactful.
Others it's
just isolated to the point where it's almost out of use, or you have to extend yourself out there to use it. So putting your wizard in harm's way. So there's an opportunity cost is what I'm trying to say. Some are very comfortable and you could just like...
It's right there, use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't roll one.
What's an example of that? The shifting objectives is one that's like a power source. A place of power that's basically right on in your deployment zone.
Yeah, it's an easy +1. Right?
And then there's others that have it just way off to the sides, and
you'll never get there with a wizard. Yeah.
Not really. To be out of the way like that.
Yeah. Maybe Bellicor might do it. Let's put it.
Yeah, but you know the thing I was about to say, that most of the wizards in the game are really huge, and you want them in the right position. Usually the right position is like the middle line.
Yeah, exactly.
To like, as soon as you start like skewing off to get a +1 to cast,
it's not worth it.
Yeah, because now you're missing half the table. You're not affecting as much as you.
No, exactly.
You would want. So, bonus, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the layouts are fantastic. Let's go to the quality of the battle plans. So we have 12, right?
We do. Yeah, we have 12.
And again, we're not going to break this down into like little teeny bits and go through each one. That's not what this is about. More like broad strokes. What do you think?
They're fine. It's a nice mix of 3, 4, 5, 6 objectives. It's heavily balanced, right? I don't think there's an event I've seen or run where it's been, all of one type at least. because it just skews into a certain army. It's just winning, right? If you have 3 in the middle, cool, just play a combat army. Doesn't matter. When you have 6, totally different. So yeah, it's a nice healthy mix. Or 8, yeah, crazy. Scorched Earth, insane. They kept that, but yeah, no, I think it's a good mix of battle plans, right? You have a little bit of everything. Some have 0 objectives, which is interesting. You got Star Striker, where no one plays a battle plan. We got that. So,
what do you think? So I look at battle plans as a palette.
Sure.
So as an organizer, what goes through your mind when you're choosing your battle plans?
Every army needs people to function in every round of the event, right? So armies that move a mighty 4 inches, you don't choose, again, Star Strike, because you'll never do it. Device, you'll never do it, right? Because if you have to start in the corner, your 4-inch move guys aren't going to get there and all that stuff, right? So you want a healthy mix, I find. So you could go all 6 if you want to, but then there are 1-drop armies that just, for the most part, can't get there. But that's a different topic anyways, so yeah. I think it's good. That's what it comes down to. I think it's good.
So what are some of the missions you think are that you wish they did not exist?
Star Strike and the Vice are probably the 2. Because Star Strike you can't plan for. You can have the best list possible, but if you deploy here, they all land here, have fun walking, right? If you're Fire Slayers, you just don't win the game. Or whatever it is, right? Those 2 for sure, they're too random, right? Competitively, you want to eliminate randomness as much as you can. And those
as a player,
yes, and that's just too much.
Yeah.
Right. Give me choices. Let me burn objectives because I've made choices to get there, do certain things. That's different, and that's good, right? So those reward you for good gameplay. Other ones, they can just mess you up, and then you had no shot. So those 2 for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind Star Strike as much. I gotta say, I think I even prefer Vice over Star Strike because I know where they're going to land.
Where it's going to go, yeah.
But I got to say that the battle plans do definitely, movement's always the best ability in any miniature game. I'll just say, I'm not arguing that. And unfortunately, there are armies that have and armies that have not.
Yes.
So I do understand when I put the Vice in the mix.
Yeah.
That it's going to make some armies have a real hard time competing.
But you still build, like most armies can build lists for it, right? Again, some can't. They just don't have the movement or anything, right, to get there. But
or the teleports, or the
we're not all Stormcast, right? So.
Or well, not all Order factions.
Yeah,
Weirdly enough,
crazy.
Like a lot of the Order factions teleport.
Or move crazy fast because they're on heals. But
Whatever
yes,
it may
exactly.
be.
Whatever it is,
Yeah. It's just. It's crazy that the teleport is so prevalent in one
kind of alliance.
Yeah.
And
I mean, am I wrong? Like, I understand there's teleports in other things.
Yes, but they're not nearly as good. They're conditional, right? A lot.
Almost
of them.
always.
Yeah.
Like Zinch has a teleport.
Yeah.
Doesn't Slaves?
Yeah, but like you get to mark your thing, and if you roll dice, and it's really bad.
That's the mark. The Zinch one.
That's it.
Well, I got a completely different opinion on the mark. I really
no, it is good, but there's
really dig that mark.
There's no like teleport spell or ability. The mark is very good though.
Yeah, you're right. So there's no spell. Anymore. Slaves. Magkin doesn't have a teleport.
No.
So yeah, it's like the only other teleports outside of Order.
Skaven have holes.
Or Destruction, which are the worst teleports.
It's not the best.
So we cast at the same level.
Yeah.
Right?
Here we go.
We cast at the same level, except when you pick up your unit, you have to lay it within 24 inches of the caster. So it's not teleport anywhere on the field. Like
yeah, you're limited to half-ish of the. Don't worry.
Both Gits and Iron Jaws teleport, and they both do the exact same thing. It's teleport a unit and place it within 24. You don't want it across the table. That'd be broken.
That'd be dumb. No, not for free, anyway.
All right, so back on battle plans. So obviously, if you're able to maneuver quickly, some of those battle plans become way more tenable. So, Star Strike. You can just be in the center, and if something lands over there, you can just go over there and get it. So I get where your point is. When doing, I find there is a completely different approach when doing an event that is 3 rounds over an event that's 4 or greater rounds.
Who does 4?
Stellar people do 4.
Yeah. Only the best.
Mostly because that's when you stick the one that everyone hates, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Because that is, you want that scenario to hit roughly round 3. So if you're doing 5-round event, you want it smack dab in round 3. As the cream rises to the top, 3 or 4, you want a separation between the chaff and the wheat.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's always going to be a scenario that people, I don't know why this exists. It takes away my abilities to do this, and that's exactly what it's there for.
Yeah, it's planned for it, right?
It's that type of scenario. So what is there one that exists in AOS?
That not any
Limited resources?
People hate limited resources. I love limited resources.
I love limited resources.
They hate the math behind it, but that's different.
Yeah.
I don't think so. There used to be the last GHB had a battle plan of you could not teleport anything, which was hilarious. But if you played Stormcast, you're like, oh, I move 4 inches.
Stormcast or sorry, I'm playing with my mic. Stormcast or Sylvaneth?
Yeah. But that's before. I don't think there's anything that's like super crippling. Again, like you're looking at a specific army. Again, Fire Slayers on Star Strike is like the prime example of you better hope it lands in front of you, or that's it.
Yeah.
But there were small fixes to that with GHB updates. But yeah, no, there's not that I can think of. Nothing that's crazy.
Yeah. So overall,
good. No.
12 plans. Are they all perfect? No.
No. You don't need perfect though.
Correct. And I enjoy the vast majority of them.
Yeah.
And as an organizer, I appreciated the spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think overall, good. I think is a fair. Is it great? I don't know if there'll ever be a GHB that'll just be great.
No.
But it was good. I'm over it now, though.
Yes.
Which
is the topic we'll get to.
It's a year, and boy, do I miss those 6 months.
Yeah.
Remember when they said they were going to do a GHB every 6 months, and people were like, "Oh, that would be stupid." Even I was like, "What a cash grab!"
Yeah.
And then it happened.
Yeah.
And then it changed every 6 months, and I can't believe they did that. I'm like, "Oh man, you know what? I'm looking forward to this."
Yeah. Well, our last 2 have been 1 year, right? And this one's just greatest hits of last edition.
Sorry,
anyways,
excuse me.
Right. So it's. Yeah. 1 year is good for data, but if you play as often as we do, right? If I'm at an event every 2 weeks, that's 6 games in a month. Most people play 1 game like every 3 months or whatever it is, right? If they're lucky. So,
yeah. I mean, you got kids. You're not taking the game all that serious. You're not there to try and climb any leaderboard. You're not trying to play AOS, tic-tac-toe, or bingo. And you just hang out with the boys once every 3 months. It's
totally different.
Yeah. That 6 months will evaporate really quick. I played 2 games in 6 months, and they're already changing the rules.
Yeah. Like, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, but for those who played it a ton, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, excuse me. Okay, so the amount of battle plans overall we liked.
Yeah. 12 is good, obviously, and 10 out of 12, we'll say, yeah, fine, it's good.
All right, so let's now talk again, broad strokes, battle tactics. I wish I had my cards in front of me right now.
Okay.
But
the problem, so it's they interact, right? Obviously, battle tactics and the battle plan. I don't know the math on it, but I would wager if you're going, even for second, the most used one, turn 1, is take the flanks. You're just gonna be there, right? Against a mobility thing, which I'm sorry, Iron Jaws and Nurgle players just can't
don't
do it.
Start with me.
You just can't do it. Right, and then after that, it's probably like Season Center, whatever it is, right? About half or so of the tactics, at least, you don't need to interact with your opponent to score them, which is not great. But your opponent.
You said more than half?
Half or more.
So take the flanks.
Take the flanks because it doesn't care. Even if you engage me, I'm still there. Don't care.
That's one. Do not waver requires interaction.
So Caesar Center.
Attack on 2 fronts requires interaction. Caesar Center does not.
Does not, so but your opponent can stop it.
But your opponent can stop. Yeah, so there is interaction there, so it doesn't count? No, probably not.
Yeah. So I guess there's less than. So there's easy ways to stop them, right? Same with take their land, right? If I just redeploy really well or something, I'll steal it.
So there's interaction there?
Okay, fine. I guess there's not. It's not as bad as it used to be. Last edition there was ones where you could
no. I'm actually, funny enough, trying to reinforce your point. You haven't hit the part where you could actually reinforce your point. So what am I really talking about?
Go ahead. Take it away.
No, say it.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
All right, so the division of battle tactics between the factions is not even.
The Grand Alliance ones don't count. Don't.
But they do count.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Boy, do they. So when you talk about non-interactive missions, you got order. What do they have to do? Have a unit in each quarter.
Each quarter non-combat. Which you can stop it, but it's
Can you stop it? I've never stopped it.
Well, you play destruction, whatever. But
Have you ever stopped it?
That's not what we're talking about. But no, there is potential to stop it, right? Because they have to be not within 6
There's a theory, a timeline, but when when order has the ability to teleport and to teleport to the extreme corners.
You can't. It's impossible.
Is that right?
Yeah. In extremities, it's impossible.
Yeah. So that's what they get to do.
Yeah.
What else do they get to do? Slay the tyrant.
They kill a hero.
Kill a hero.
Yeah.
Do they have to call it?
Don't think they need to call it. It's any hero. Has to be combat though. Has to be in combat. That's important.
It has to be in combat. That is true. That is a liability, I guess. But that is really cool.
Yes.
So what's the chaos ones?
Charge with 2 units and steal an objective.
Which is great.
Which is awesome. Or kill 2 things.
Which is also awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have to call out those 2 things?
The objective you do, the kill 2 things you don't.
Just kill any 2 things.
And it's any 2. It's great. And it has to be. They need to be destroyed.
It's great.
They need to be destroyed. So it's not shooting, which Kess doesn't have. It's not combat. It's not spell. Whatever you want to do, any combination you can do it. You're not stuck to just.
I need my cards here because I remember one destruction one. The only one that you ever achieve, and the other one I cannot remember.
The other one is starting your deployment zone, leave the deployment zone, go in your opponent's deployment zone, and fight or something. It's bad. It's very.
You have to pick. Oh, we'll get to that. So what's the death one?
Oh God.
Do you remember? Okay, I'll do the destruction.
As I look up my phone.
The destruction ones are.
Here we go.
You have to. What? Oh, you getting it out?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, get it out.
I'll get it out. Yeah.
This way I'm not guessing and mucking it up.
I'll let you read the death battle tactics.
Oh, yeah. All right, so death battle tactics. Mark for the grave. Pick a non-hero enemy unit that has not had any model slain this battle.
And kill it.
And kill it. Okay, so pretty good, right? So far, we're all even.
Kill their chaff. Wow.
Inevitable demise. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units wholly within the enemy territory, more than 9 inches from all enemy units, and none of those units were set up this turn. So you complete this battle attack at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units are wholly within the enemy territory.
Outside of 9. So like, it's gonna be hard to get countercharged. Yeah, it's not terrible. Everything moves fast. You can just bring things back anyways. It can't be the same turn you brought the thing back like it says, but don't. Yeah.
All right, that's what everyone else gets.
Here we go.
Destruction. Time to get stuck in. Pick 3 friendly units that are not in combat and are wholly within friendly territory. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if each of those units are wholly outside of your territory and use a fight this turn. So you have to pick 3, no others.
Yeah.
And if any one of those 3 fail a charge, you've just dropped your battle tactic. Not to mention they have to be in your territory to even be a choice.
Yeah,
and then you have to be wholly outside of your territory to move with 4 army.
On average, yeah.
This is the same. This is the same
Very
as
equal.
like being in 4
every
quarters.
4 quarters.
Kill 2 random things in the game that you don't have to call out. This is the same.
It's very, there's even another one. You have a kill one.
Yeah.
There's a kill one there. That's the next one.
The only one that you can ever do as a destruction player with any type of certainty, pick an enemy unit. That enemy unit has to be in combat with one of your units. And then you also have to pick another one of your units that is not in combat. And then that one has to make it fight.
Yeah.
And then that unit has to die. Now, it doesn't have to die by that unit's hands that you just sent in, but it just has to die. But again, you have to pick, call.
That's fine. You just link them together. You do the other one first, and then this one. Perfect.
This is the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is battle tactics.
Yeah.
How is this even fair?
Oh, the game is Age of Sigmar. It's order, obviously.
But it doesn't. It's not just order because the death get good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chaos gets good ones.
Yeah.
And now we're encountering the first thing I really despise about this edition. I'm not gonna lie, folks. I am a Destruction stan. Love the faction. I just wish the studio loved the faction. I just wish they cared a little bit, just a tiny bit more. Like, it's a pretty much naked, raw.
Yeah, it's bad. it's bad for those ones. Like,
and now, from a competitive perspective, when you're battling factions outside of Destruction, and they have two very, very easy. You now have multiple ways of just failing a battle attack.
Yeah.
In a game of 5 rounds and dropping 4 points.
Yeah, it's huge.
So what it means is, if you're playing a Destruction army, just from that perspective, you are far less competitive.
Yeah, you're already down, which sucks.
And you could be potentially down 8 points. 2 battle tactics.
Yeah, which that's a game, right? So, yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's rough. As we were saying before, like there's haves and have-nots, right? And Destruction feels like it has not nothing, but a lot of nots.
The funny thing is, when you talk about haves and have-nots, we're not talking about individual armies there, though.
No.
We're talking about an entire group of armies.
Of armies, yeah. At least 4 per alliance, yeah.
An entire group.
Crazy.
That's a little crazy. That's a big.
It's unfortunate. You're right.
Yeah, and then toss in flakes.
Oh,
okay, so what if you're an army that doesn't move fast?
Yeah, then it's very hard to do any of them, right? Like the ones that are very shallow, your opponent's terrain normally is far away anyways, so doing things like take their land is hard. If you're not fast enough to see the center, then that's also unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, right? And again, this isn't Destruction specific now.
No, any army.
Any army that's slow, so you're looking at Fireslayer Brothers.
Yeah,
that
Nurgle for the most part. Like
Nurgle for the most part, you're correct. Although they have a few options in the form of flies.
Which don't move fast enough.
And cost a lot.
Yeah.
Like
flies,
what most armies do, it's just like under 100 points for 2 units to do it. Well, maybe not, maybe exaggerate.
Yeah, maybe.
But Chaos has to put like 260 to do the same thing. That's not too bad, I guess.
You can do it with chariots. So anyways.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
80 points.
If you're that slaves. Yeah. 160 points to do the same thing, which is.
Let's do it.
The point is that the battle tactics feel less like a skill issue and more like you got to pick the right army issue.
Yes, for sure.
And again, the right army ends up being a lot of order ones.
A lot. Well, they all do whatever they want, right? Like we said, with all the mass teleporting, they score their own. They score a generic one. They score a bunch of generic ones, right? So without needing to kill anything.
Like if you're reaching for the golf bag, to grab a club out. Golf club. I mean, if someone's starting and you're getting into AOS, Stormcast is fantastic. Yeah. And it is the honest God truth. And there's nothing wrong with the freaking army. The army's so nice, beautiful army.
Beautiful, yeah.
Very easy to paint, or at least can be. But you could also pump it up. If you're a man or a woman who loves painting, you could do some beautiful things. With dragons. Indrasa's a gorgeous model.
Even just like the shields and stuff too, there's so much going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that the Order armies are terrible and people who play them are bad people. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's more like when I look at battle tactics, which is the main way to score, it feels like there's a really big disparity in it.
100%.
And it doesn't seem to focus enough on skill.
Yeah.
And more on what your tools are in the army that you have, which means it's about army selection.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just not even your list, just like the actual what book you want to play, right?
Yeah.
Which is not how it should work. Like everything should have a shot. Obviously, right? So.
All right, I'm gonna go quickly to chat just to kind of scan through. I just want to say hi to everyone. Thank you very much for watching so far.
What's up, peeps?
Hopefully you're all having a great night or morning or afternoon, wherever the heck you are.
It's raining here, so.
Vinegar says, Order, do something cool. Destruction, do something less cool on a 4+.
Wow, 4+, really generous.
I was like,
that's Tristan, by the way. Hello, Tristan.
Actually, you know what that should be? That should be like on a bad D3.
Oh, man.
That should be the destruction one. Do something cool and a
Let's
bad
not
D3.
discuss bad D3s, please.
What a design
I was
choice.
talking on the
What a
weekend
design
my
choice.
GT with Ruben.
Yeah.
So a Chaos Chariot, okay, it's as big as we'll say a car, right? It's as big as your car, we'll say. That's generous.
Easily. A
If
van.
a car hits you,
Yeah.
even the mirror dings you, you're gonna get hurt. But if I roll a 1 or a 2, you just Jackie Chan that shit and you run right over it and you're totally fine. It's okay.
I think they really wanted to tone down mortal wounds.
Oh, yeah? We're gonna have that talk. Okay, sick. Yeah, you're right.
I'm just trying to. I don't want to poo-poo them though the entire thing.
But like,
And so far, it's been mostly positive at this point. Thank you very much.
I'm fine. Like, I would rather them say, "Hey, this thing." Remember how ogres used to have you charge X, do X mortal wounds or whatever it was? That's fine. Do that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right. If I charge less than 3 inches, no mortal wounds. 4 to whatever, give me 1. Because again, it's a bus is crashing into you.
Yeah,
right.
I
So,
really like the idea of you roll a natural amount, and that's how many dice, and on 4s you do mortal wounds.
Something-
That's enough variability.
Yeah, bounders have it. That's great.
Yeah,
Right,
bounders are like the best thing in that book.
But yeah.
All right, so let's now go into the next little part. Again, we're trying to make the video short, folks, so we're just kind of bullet points. Battle tactics overall, to me, it's a big thumbs down.
Yeah. It depends what you're playing, which is not good for a game.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm coming from more of a destruction perspective.
Yeah. Overall, just it's
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. All right. Let's go to manifestations. So when you could have kept it in a little bit.
No.
So manifestations. When we first did this roughly a year ago,
Yeah.
neither one of us really liked manifestations. I absolutely did not like it. Neither did you really,
No,
for that matter.
no,
All right. So has that opinion changed?
no, not at all.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Nothing's changed. They're the exact same mess they used to be. They're still free.
They modified it a little bit. They changed some more scrolls and.
Okay, so some of them can't just walk into combat anymore. 2 of them can't. It doesn't matter. We don't see that one
They
anymore.
changed some of the casting values.
From like 5 to 6. But like, no, the point is they're not good for the game in the current state anyways. Being free is not good, right? Free things are always, in any game, free things are always amazing, right? A lot of them, so recently we've seen a lot of Forbidden Power, right?
Yeah.
So you got, 4 manifestations in there. The big one, figuratively and literally, is Soul Screen Bridge, right?
Yep.
It teleports you from A to B.
Yeah.
Cool. It's great for combat armies.
Yep.
But you don't even need to do that. The bases are so big and the range is so far, you can just block your opponents out of spots with it, which is nuts. Okay, that's one. It has another one that has big bases with shards,
Yep.
which you can't fly over now with that. You can screen off half the board with 2 manifestations. It's pretty bad, and they're free, right? Everyone takes them. They all go up in the 6 or whatever it is.
Not everyone takes them.
Okay, everyone has access to them.
Can, yes.
Wording, yes.
Yeah.
So that's annoying, right? The other 2, whatever, who cares? Doesn't matter. But like it fills
But
gaps
it's still
in
more
your
bases.
It is. It fills gaps in your army, which is a problem that Allies had last edition. Like, my army can't do X. Let me just throw in whatever model is for 100 points does this thing, right? Now these are free. My wizard does it. Cool. And like, you have place of power to get bonuses to cast, which you don't really need.
Yeah.
Every list has at least 1 or 2 wizards anyways. The big thing is I get to do it in your turn. That's the big problem.
That's one of the big problems, potentially.
So, I played a game on stream a little while ago, and I got a pendulum cast at me on my turn, which also moves in my turn. So it engages me in combat, and now my combat army can't charge. It costs you a command point, and you roll 2d6. Damn, it's pretty good.
It's a pretty big skill flex.
Pretty, yeah. You hear that, Mark? It's pretty big. They're still not great for the game. They either need to cost points, or countercasting can't be an option for them. A hot take I had was you either choose manifestations or you choose an actual spell lore, not both, because you just get everything that way with some armies. This way, there's options, right? Like, we had a battle scroll recently that nerfed the main army I play, which gave me 3-6 charges everywhere. I still get that, right? But the idea that I can cast, well, I have a spell for 3d6 charge.
Yes.
And then I can teleport over on this bridge and charge you 9 inches. On average, I'm charging 10 or 11 anyways.
Yep.
Right? That's not good for you, right? Or I'm going to say, hey, these guys, they like pink, and they charged 3d6 before, right? So, yeah, it's not great for the game, them being free. There needs to be some leeway somewhere. So.
Right. I think the part that I have an issue with manifestations
They're also not all equal.
Again, yeah, you're 100% correct. When you're now dealing with something free, especially when you're talking about faction manifestations, that means the onus is on the design team. I am no longer saying Games Workshop, okay? I'm actually going to change my language. I have zero issues with the CEO, well, maybe not zero issues, but with the CEOs and the board and the shareholders. I have zero issues with my account rep at Games Workshop, great guy. I have zero issues with the guy who packs boxes occasionally until he puts books on top of light things and crushes boxes. That guy I might have an issue with. But other than that, not really. Pretty much the only issue I have is with the current design team.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to call out specific names. I don't need to, but it is squarely on these men, women shoulders. And it's not Games Workshop's fault. It's this design team. And there's parts of it I really, really like.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And parts of it I don't. And the design team made these choices with the manifestations, and it just feels forced. Yeah. I don't know who the call was, but it does not match the patterns or the thought process of the rest of the design, of the rules.
The whole game, yeah, exactly.
Of the whole game.
Yeah, these things are a unit, but not a unit. But they pretend to be units, and it's super confusing.
So for a new player trying to describe how manifestations function in the game, forget about new player. Me.
Veteran players, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, myself. I've still, in fact, been in a recent chat group where we had another conversation regarding manifestations, and then we had someone else rule it.
Oh, differently? Oh,
No. This is Madigan, right?
Sure, okay.
So she knows an enormous amount of rules. I don't know how she...
Very knowledgeable, yeah.
I have no idea why she... how.
Yeah.
But whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The human, synthetic, organic being that is Madigan, who absorbs information in AOS, she broke it down and then it laid it very, very clear within that group. Yeah. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much for sounding that. Enlightening us. But holy cap, why does it require a rule savant
to do it? Yeah, it's like that
to describe rules for what in all purposes is a group full of veteran players.
Yeah, how these things work. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's poor design.
Yeah.
If it can't be something that a regular player can't understand
and get it right.
Yeah. That is poor design. We are now 9-10 months into it, and I just had that conversation again with a group of other players that I was privy to.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
It's not good. And it can be so much simpler too, right? But
I don't know what it could be. What it could be is different than what it is right now.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there's how you leverage it.
Yeah.
And how that's not even. Because you got armies that have many bonuses to cast.
Yep.
And they leverage this free mechanic a heck of a lot better than the ones that don't.
Yeah. Well, orcs can summon a spell to give them bonuses to cast.
Oh man, that thing is manifestation lore. The one shining beacon of awesome. Destruction. Here's a bone.
Yeah.
I was like,
Take that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the problem too, you have to summon that thing first.
That's okay. First. Summon on a 5. At least if you can cast it.
You say that now, but
yeah. Most of my games I can cast it. I mean, occasionally you don't. It is what it is. It breaks your heart, but most of the time it gets on the board, and boy, do I appreciate it. It's a manifestation lore for Iron Jaws. Called Great Roara.
So, the Gork Roara.
Gork Roara, thank you very much. And it absolutely phenomenal, and literally drives everything else that Army does.
That's good. You charge bonuses too. Which is
no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Anyway, but again, unless you can leverage it, so unless that thing was not, if that thing was cast 7.
No, there's no way. It's impossible. Even
It's
with your
only because it's cast 5.
yeah, on your sometimes 2 cast wizard.
My sometimes 2 cast wizard. Yeah. No, it doesn't get all like that.
We discussed the knowledge before. But,
So manifestations, I generally broad strokes.
Even specifically is not. Yeah, no. The spells themselves are good. The idea of them or execution is very poor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think they should cost points. They should have or a greater opportunity cost. Like like Josh was saying, if you take that, you have to give up your lore.
Yeah, that's fine.
Completely without a second thought. If I was a Gitz player, that lore is absolutely.
We still have War Scroll spells to choose. That's
terrible.
fine. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or you just legends them. It's okay.
All right, so that's manifestations.
Yes.
Let's go into the hotness that is faction terrain.
It's the same. It's the exact same problem. You got real good ones. You got real okay ones. You got destruction ones. That's not. No, that's fine.
not true.
The orc ones are actually good.
The destruction ones are good.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they're good.
There's 4 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever the one is. Yeah.
There's
Moonshine,
the
the 2
mob pit,
towers.
the pot.
There's 5 then, because 2 ogre ones.
Yeah, I was going to say the Rancor pit,
Yeah.
the pot,
Yeah.
the boss tower,
Yeah.
the loon shrine, and who am I missing?
The Cruel Boys tower. There's 2 towers.
I just cut whatever.
Well, then there's only 4 then, if you count the 2 towers.
Yeah, it's the
together.
towers.
Anyways.
I know they do some stuff that's different.
So, yeah, because Iron Jaws need +1 to dirty tricks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No,
Okay,
exactly.
so you know what? We'll count them as 2 separate pieces. There, we got it. 5. And you know what? They're good.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're good.
Some are.
So from a destruction perspective, yay! But overall, what are we talking about?
Again, so Stormcast get more teleporting with their terrain piece.
That is a really good terrain piece. Teleport. Oh man! But you can interact with that, right? You can dispel it. You can.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. No, you can't do anything.
But it's hard to use. Like you can't just stand beside it and it just happen.
Oh no, you're right. It'd be 6 inches or whatever. It's crazy. The hardest part is deciding where you're going to place it. If you're going to place it in front of you, or slightly to the left or right of in front of you. Yeah, it's stupid.
So who the hell designed the teleporting piece? Okay, so the Stormcast have one that shoots, teleports a unit across the board. Absolutely. And then you look at the death one, which is the Bone Reaper, Osiark Bone Reaper's giant pile.
As big as my head.
Yeah. It looks as big as something, yeah. It sticks right at the table.
Yep.
I don't even know what it does.
It doesn't matter what it does.
You know why I don't know what it does? Everyone I know who plays Osiark Bone Reapers doesn't use it.
No, 2 reasons. Because the rules are whatever, and it's huge. Because I can just charge your faction terrain.
It is huge. It is literally this big.
My teleporting army can teleport in combat with your faction terrain.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then complete whatever other battle tactics.
My tactic is take your land.
Or whatever. Or did you place it beside an objective?
Yeah.
Or close to it because you have to be 3 inches away? Cool. I'm gonna charge. Clip that objective.
I'm gonna do not waver and poke your tower. Yeah,
take a primary and then also score my battle tactic.
It's fine. The problem with the slaves one's the same thing, right? The thing is beautiful, which is amazing.
It's gorgeous.
It's gigantic.
Gorgeous,
but
yeah.
You'd think it's destruction. It's random. I got to roll a d6, give it fantasy points.
Yeah.
It only does things on a 3, which on average, like you should get, but if you see me roll dice, it doesn't happen. Or 9 to blow up other terrain pieces, right? It's not great. Corns is good. Slashes is good. Problem again, just the disparity between all of them, right? Like the Seraphon Pyramid, just blasting mortal wounds, and you have Croak also blasting stuff.
Seraphon
That's the one, 100%.
is the best terrain piece in
100%.
the entire game.
Yes.
Not for anything would I have said with the beginning of 4th edition that Seraphon were going to keep that ability to just pick 3 units that are basically unlimited range. What's the condition? They have to be beside terrain.
Yeah, within 24, whatever it is. Yeah, it's fine.
Within 24
You need a
inches of
guy
the
nearby
pyramid.
or something, I think, too. But
And then just roll D3, bad D3 mortals.
yeah.
But whatever, you're doing 2 to 3 mortals.
You're also an army of doing a million mortal wounds anyways, right? So
It's amazing.
yeah.
It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So the big thing is that it's a liability, right? A lot of these are huge pieces that you can just teleport beside, and because there's battle tactics that want you to take terrain, or you can just slingshot off the terrain that you're near or whatever too.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
your guy's like, I'm safe. You're like, haha, well, I charge this thing and here it is, right? So
I often, one of the very first questions I ask when I'm at the table, if I don't know the army I'm playing, is like, do you have the ability to teleport?
Yeah, always.
If the answer is yes, I just don't deploy my terrain piece. And the recommendation is, well, from me to you, from him to you, don't put it down.
Yeah.
Just don't, because it's very easy for them to, you just unlock battle tactics for those really good armies that already have, and you just make their lives that much easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your own terrain pieces don't zone out. And what I mean by that, they can land right on top of them if they can, or right beside them, and then they can just complete, like for instance, do not waver.
Yeah, you just gotta fight it. That's it.
Right? So. Fight twice, don't die?
Yeah.
Cool.
Your train can't kill me.
Can't kill me, so I'll just punch that, and now I just have to fight with one other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's also close to objective, so I can cap that. I can take their lands. And all this is just happening in your own backfield. And you're like, well, you can just block it out. Yes, you can just block it out.
Yeah.
Except the game says you have to be here, 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 here to score battle tactics.
Exactly.
And you have to be over there to get primary. So it's kind of difficult to do all of that and also guard this terrain piece.
Yeah, barring like a super skewed list, like Skaven and 160 clan rats or whatever it is, or holes, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
It's not the easiest. Or Beastmen, here's 40 best scores. You're gonna charge my rock? No, I'm not, because I'll just die. But design-wise, like there's a lot less issues with them versus manifestations. The rules are clear. That's it, right? Can't deploy near it. They can't fight for the most part. They're good, like I said. You got haves, have-nots, but the have-nots are not as bad as other stuff.
It's not as extreme.
Yeah, because I can just not deploy it and fine. Again, that's one part of them being free. That's fine. If I don't spend points for these things and then be like, it's liability, that would suck, right?
Yeah.
Just so happens that my guys just carry this giant chaos star with them and just stab in the ground, whatever it is, right? So,
whatever it is. I gotta say the one positive, big positive. You get the really cool little buff rules, whatever it may be. It's something. It's always something, which is cool. It's kind of like a army rule that's attached to a thing. And that's pretty. And generally speaking, I love the trade pieces.
Yeah.
I think they just look really, really cool.
They do look really cool.
And when you add your own display board, you drop your piece in the background, like the Chaos Star one.
Oh, it's cool. Sick. Or the Slanesh one with the portal and stuff is super cool.
It looks sick. So I really got mixed feelings regarding the terrain, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say it's bad. I just don't.
No, it's not bad.
It is not bad. Do I think it's a thumbs up? I think it's more thumbs up than thumbs down.
Yeah, it gives you, again, a little wiggle. More wiggle up than wiggle down. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So in general, I dig it. So we're both in roughly the same.
For that, yeah.
You know, one time we could disagree. You don't have to like.
Oh, I think. Well, I'm sure we'll disagree soon enough.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Another real big positive. So let's go back on the positivity train.
Yes.
Is for 4th edition. Is the way the design team, not the CEO, not the guy who packs boxes, the design team. Designed the abilities. Like the whole entire game, our abilities.
Disagree time now.
Our abilities.
Yep.
Linked to Windows, and in general, I really like it. It's very clear to me. Generally speaking, very, very clear. I like the timing windows. I like the abilities. All right, so I'm going to shut up. Then I'll come back after. Go.
Okay. The idea of it all being abilities is great.
Yes.
Until you have abilities that have the same keywording as things that are not abilities. Okay.
Go for it. Okay, what do you mean by that? We're getting into little specialty scenarios.
So Ogre Gluttons, right?
Yep.
When they run,
yep,
they get to add 2 to their run roll or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
Okay. Redeploy has the keyword run on it. You do not get +2 to your redeploy. It calls out run rolls specifically. So if you don't catch that, they're both bolded keywords. You'd think you get D6 +2 on your redeploy, which you do not get. We had a chat recently too, and a different Discord about weapon abilities.
That's a very
But there's multiple
game,
of that,
but
though.
very important. I don't want to downplay what he's saying.
No.
Very, very important, but very game
100%.
specific. Yeah.
Even like weapon abilities and stuff, right? They don't say, so the rules define abilities as being in a box that say declare, react, effect, right? Weapon abilities, they list the name of it, they say what it does. Okay, abilities is in the name. They don't have the special box. You go into the glossary section, they are in fact abilities, which is a pain in the butt, right? Problem is the word existing doesn't, they use the same word multiple times for different things. At the onset of the edition, there was a lot of abilities that people were questioning because they'll say your whatever phase, say like it's your shooting phase or whatever it is, right?
Right.
And they'll have another rule that says do X as if it was your shooting phase. It doesn't trigger most of those things, right? Which is super annoying. They recently got rid of a weird interaction where, say I was attacking you, right? And I didn't say I want to auto attack, and you're like, I all defense. I could then say, hey, I want to auto attack after you've done it. If you said nothing, I said nothing, nothing happens, right? They get rid of that.
Right.
I have to do all mine now. You got to do all yours. It's fine.
Which was a good adjustment.
Fine, yeah. It just, the big thing is using the same verbiage for different things. That's the big issue, right? Like I said, the run thing, that one's huge. I know there's other examples that elude me right now, but yes, they exist.
I think, and I'll definitely cut him some slack on this. Was the execution perfect?
No, it can't be.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they put so much effort into trying to make rules really, really clear.
Yeah.
Break it down to abilities so that you can look it up. I could often answer my own questions by just diving into the rules. And then the way they broke it down adds a lot of clarity. Now, obviously, there are examples where it kind of fell through, but I think that's more on a frequently asked questions or adjustments of war scrolls and adjustments to rules, like they did on the order of operations.
Yeah.
On triggering abilities, right? You're active player, you decide your ability. Are you going to all-out attack? No? Okay, cool. I'm going to all-out defense. Sorry, you can't all-out attack.
Yeah, exactly, which is nice and clean.
Yeah, it's nice and clean. I dig that.
So,
I think all in all, I think it's more of a positive than a negative.
yeah, well, there needs to be something, right? So like, it wasn't, there's small outlying things that make it annoying, but in the last 9 months, we've come a long way from what it used to be, right?
Right.
A lot of it comes down to like, just to rules knowledge and knowing how certain keywords work. Like another one, the Seraphon, so the skinks, the shooty skinks on raptors, right? They let you, whatever it is, it's when they charge or shoot, they can shoot something after it's been charged or whatever it is.
Right.
Right, by the other kind of skink.
Yeah.
But they have to use a shoot ability to do it. Shoot is a core ability, so you then can't charge with the ones that just shot.
And that is not as obvious to new players.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. We've had this in the shop. People play
like when they look at the Stormcast, the Paladors, they don't care. They say make a shoot. So they say make a shooting attack.
Yeah.
Don't use a shoot
after
ability.
you complete a charge.
Yeah, but it's the shooting attack and the shoot ability. Yeah. Right? Because the shoot ability lets you make a shooting attack. So again, not knowing those things. So those are kind of clumsy, but like overall, the idea is sound. Yes.
Yeah, and there's definitely more nuance.
Yeah.
To the rules. Sometimes the interactions aren't as obvious.
Yeah.
For sure. But that is nerd gaming though. I mean, like I've never played a nerd game. It doesn't even matter whether it's miniatures, RPGs, like anything. There's always going to be these little gray spots where convoluted rule systems just don't cover absolutely everything.
100%, yeah.
And they missed. And they weren't consistent in this specific spot.
Yeah.
But I think all in all, I think it's more success than failure.
Yeah, for sure. That I'll agree to. Yeah.
I think so. The abilities and breaking things into abilities, I think it's a very big positive in general. In fact.
Yeah. Well, it lets you know timing. Knowing timings is big. Right?
Yes.
So it just definitely helps.
All right. Well, chat. Does anyone got anything to say that we want to talk about? Darktron saying Skaven need more help. More help? Sean Blake.
12 Rattling guns, you'll be okay.
For Seraphon, I have to be the strongest terrain piece in my opinion.
Yeah, we agreed. Seraphon is the best one, 100%.
No, he's saying, sorry, did I say Seraphon? I meant Sylvaneth. That's what he wrote. He actually wrote Sylvaneth. If I said Seraphon, then I just
You said dinosaurs, not trees.
No, Sylvaneth. He's saying Sylvaneth have the strongest terrain piece in the game.
It's better than it was, obviously. When it first came out, it wasn't great.
It is way better than what it was.
The more trees you have, the more wounds you have, which is great. Trees healing stuff is awesome.
Have you played much against Sylvaneth?
Not recently, no.
I'm going to tell you right now, 12 wound trees
it's gross.
is stupid.
Let's blame Kyle Harden for this.
Yes, it is stupid.
Oh, it is, yeah.
All right, so what do you think? Are they the best? I still think Pyramid's the best.
Yeah, like they're definitely close.
They are good, yeah, like really, really good.
So the big thing with the Wildwoods though is the entire army is centered around it. You need to have trees to do anything, right?
Yeah.
Most other faction terrain, you don't need to have it to do stuff.
Yeah.
If Sylvaneth had no trees, then they are the mercy of the battle plan that on average has 2 woods.
Yeah.
Right? Sure, yes, you have Belthanos who can do a thing once per game or whatever it is. But the army needs the trees. Right?
Yeah, from a Sylvaneth perspective, Sylvaneth trees are the best.
Yeah, oh yes, of course.
Absolutely the best.
Yeah, they have to be.
But from a person across the table, I have a lot more anxiety with the pyramid.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't want them balling
That thing
my
is such a pain in my rear
also,
when you're setting up. Even little tiny solo heroes. Oh shit, I have it too close to that piece of terrain. I have to shift in.
Too close to your own faction terrain.
Oh my god, it is.
Bomb your faction terrain.
It is, boys, ladies, do not deploy faction terrain versus Sylvaneth. It's just
Seraphon, he said it wrong.
Seraphon, I did it now in reverse.
Do it for Sylvaneth, they can't pull their trees down.
Seraphon are just the biggest pain, man. Biggest pain. I hate that pyramid.
I'm all beautiful too, so you can't get.
So here we go. Now, I like Korean girls. That's his name. I'm sure they're lovely though. I think Seraphon having mortals at range from Croak and the terrain piece gets balanced out by that they don't have good shooting.
Okay, let's go back to the skinks on dinosaurs as talked about. They have Ren 2
Not everyone
shooting.
has the same experience.
Okay, that's Ren 2, I guess. Yeah, your environment shapes your reality, I suppose.
Anytime someone comments on anything, they are commenting from their own perspective.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like my man just hasn't encountered good Seraphon shooting.
Also depends on what you define as good, right? Like
that's also a perspective as well.
So 12 rattling guns, yeah, it'll melt things off the table or whatever.
Yeah.
But Hunters of Huanchi making me roll only 1d6 for a charge
is really good shooting.
Very good shooting.
Really good
for
shooting.
120-ish points or whatever it is.
Yeah,
the other one's good too. Oh, where you're -1 to wound or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now my fragile army is not getting hurt as bad.
It's techie.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You don't need to be it doesn't need to be other games that roll a million dice and destroy things.
Maybe I like Korean girls likes the damagey. The damagey shooting, and he's saying that the Seraphon don't have the damagey shooting.
You got skinks on dinosaurs.
Hunters don't suck.
No,
those are the guys that he's just chucking a whole bunch of dice, and when you look at them, for whatever reason, they're AP2, or I should say Ren 2.
The ones on Raptors, yes. Yeah, the Raptidon Hunters, the Chargers, whatever. Yes, it's
why?
In Comet they're not though, but they're Ren 2 sticks they throw at you.
Ren 2. Yeah. Like, what is the logic between a guy with like sharpened stick and a guy with a rifle?
So they said when they launched the edition, they looked at every model and determined their stuff that way. So maybe it was maybe someone built the model, they got cut doing it. Like, damn, this is AP2 or whatever.
So funny. So I will agree with I like Korean girls to say that. I love saying the name now. It's the name. It's what he called himself.
It's just him.
I'm just saying the name.
Yeah, fair.
I'm just saying the name. So where was I?
You were agreeing that, I imagine you were agreeing that Seraphon don't have devastating shooting.
Correct.
If that's what they're looking for. They do have very techie shooting and Ren 2 sticks. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Man, that's a heck of a lot of mortals, though. I don't know if they need to be compensated that much.
Oh, let's go back to Lumineth last edition where they had ranged mortals and it was the best, right? Everyone loved that.
I want to say hi to my balls. Again, that's his name. That's That's the name. I just
Rough
want to say hi
childhood, I
back.
guess. Yeah.
What else have we got? Not everyone gets catapults. He's commenting on his OBR catapults.
Oh, OBR catapults are great.
OBR catapults are not bad.
No, especially in their own sub-faction, which has a limitation. You can't be near it. But
Can't be near it?
Yeah, so if there's an enemy within 6 or whatever, they don't get the +1 hit.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Luckily, they're parked on the back of the board behind
a
rows
1,000
and
Death
rows.
Riders, so it
Well,
doesn't
maybe not
matter.
1,000. but
Okay, 40 Death Riders.
They're
whatever.
elite. They're fairly elite army, to be fair.
Yeah.
And those catapults are not cheap.
No, 200 and change. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's a lot. Yeah.
a lot.
Which for my 4-shot crit 2 hits thing is good.
It's a lot.
Yeah, they're very good. Make sure it lasts also, which is gross.
LJH, can't wait till everyone has their
normal
terrain.
name.
As a DOK player. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to get. Do you think they're going to get like a serpent tower or something? Or snake pit?
Just
or
a strip club or something, yeah. Yeah, probably something. It's weird, because like what I would imagine would be their faction terrain
a sacrificial altar would be
is already a model in the army.
Oh yeah, like
Multiple.
cauldron?
Cauldron.
Yeah.
Or like the Hand of Cain thing, whatever it is.
They have, I gotta say they have
Beautiful
like,
models.
probably the prettiest manifestation lore.
Yeah, the blood snake thing is so cool.
Yeah, I like there's some pretty cool ones, but I think that one
That one's really cool.
is the prettiest.
There's swords in a hurricane of
Wind
blood.
of like
Blade wind, yeah. Call back to the Dark Elf spell, which used to be crap. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they get. Probably some kind of sacrificial thingamajig would make sense. Also, when you said DOK, for some reason I thought it was IDK. I'm like, they got a boat. What are you talking about? But that's a different elf army, different order army.
DOK, Daughters of Cain. God's sakes, you play this game?
Not often enough, apparently. Anyways,
all right, we got Vinegar talking about 3+ arbor save armies, and we'll get there. And then Sean Blakey, they got better rend.
Balake, but yeah.
No, it's not Balake. See, it could be.
Oh, wow.
You know what? We
We promise no rambling in private.
What?
Yeah.
They got better end than Bonoth. They got better rend than Bonoth.
Is there a previous statement?
Probably.
Oh no, it's probably talking about the Raptidon Chargers having Rend 2, and Colonel with Bows have Rend 1.
Yeah, the fire-like sticks, like the
Big
branches with giant.
That ignore guard hero.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah. Although those don't need extra rend.
Well, let's discuss Rend and
let
Maw
us
Crushers then.
let us
Maw
not
Crushers in
give
Rend 1, yeah.
Don't even start.
Be
Then
all
let's not
day.
talk Sylvaneth having better shooting.
Than dinosaurs.
Okay, so we just hit abilities. Now we get to
I don't know where we are
battle
anymore.
tomes. Now, I didn't have every battle tome. Because for whatever reason I don't own the Iron Jaws one, so we're gonna have a guest
It's like
star.
right there on the
No,
shelf.
it isn't actually.
I
'Cause
can't
checked
see-
because if I did, I would have just got it
Bought
for
from
me.
yourself? Okay.
Yeah, I would have bought it for myself. I'm a bibliophile. I'm literally the target market for Games Workshop.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I get codes for free.
Who needs it?
I don't need. No, I still buy books.
Yeah, it's fair. They're pretty books.
I have a ridiculous collection of books, of like
Believe you, yeah, Warhammer from forever ago. yeah.
Warhammer
It's
RPGs.
insane.
I love my treasure hoard.
Let's
of
discuss these ALS books, though.
All right, let's discuss that. I get it. All right, so bam.
no,
We're not going to discuss. We're not going to review every book. That would be insane. This thing would go on forever. But we are going to broad strokes it. Generally speaking, these
Those are the first 2 books.
the first 2 books. And when they came out, what did you think?
When they came out, I thought they were toned
Stop
down,
moving. Sorry, Gaio.
toned down a bit from Index. We saw a lot with 40K, same thing, right? Books came out, they weren't as good as the indexes for the most part. They were fine, but they were very recycled from the index, right? So they dropped some rules, added a little bit of new stuff in, but 80% was the same,
Yeah.
right?
So the great disappointment was that these were just recycled indexes.
Yeah, you got some new models, that's what the platform is for.
Now, why was there disappointment? Because guess what the other department doesn't do?
Yeah.
And that would be that game, I don't know whether you heard about it, 40K. It might be catching on. But when 40K released codexes, the books were significant changes.
Yeah, exactly.
There was an enormous amount of excitement every time you got a codex.
Because you actually got more stuff.
You did.
With it, right?
Yeah.
Like, as an aside, like Sisters, that book, when it came out, whew, amazing.
Yeah.
Still very good.
I mean, they have their own issues, of course. No miniature game doesn't suffer from some sort of imbalance. I'm not saying that they were perfect books.
No.
But if you were to say base book releases on level of excitement, generally speaking, the 40K side was firing off on all cylinders.
Well, because you went from 1 detachment to 6.
To 6, right? Or what have you. Now, Adeptus Mechanicus sucked. I know Adeptus Mechanicus sucked.
This is an AOS show.
But this is an AOS show. But someone's like, yeah, but Lyle, you're wrong. Adeptus Mechanicus sucked. I know. I know Adeptus Mechanicus sucked.
I play Toaster Lovers too.
But all the other ones were either solid or phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. Or like
I don't classify either one of these books as that. This is solid.
This is problematic, is what this book is.
Yeah. This is very, very solid.
Yeah, so 95% of the things in there are competitively viable.
Yeah.
Like I could close my eyes, flip through, and make a half-decent list with most things, but that's off the back of the comment of 3+ saves, right? The entirety of the book almost has 3+ saves, and that gets so far in a game of Rend 1 being predominant.
I honestly thought 3+ saves weren't as big a deal. So, Gaio, I'm going to drop one book. All right. I thought 3+ saves weren't as big a deal because of the fact that, on Heroes specifically, because you didn't have Finest Hour anymore in the game, and the 3+ save wasn't as crazy as it used to be. But when it's saturated into every single unit choice, that aggregate ends up being quite significant.
Speaking of Finest Hour, they kept Finest Hour.
They actually kept Finest Hour.
Which is insane.
Which is so cool. To be honest, I really love that they kept it. I think if there was an army in the game, if there's an army game, so I'm not trying to take away any toys, and all lovers of Stormcast out there, man, I love you right back. This is a great book. This is a great book. It's the disappointment lied in the fact that it wasn't a lot of new.
No. We got beautiful new models, right? Which
beautiful
is
new
great.
Models. Man, that department, let's go
killing it.
Sidetrack 1 sec.
Yeah.
Man, that design department.
So cool.
Have they dropped the ball in recent memory? I can't even think of a new kit that is like an abysmal failure. I just want to say, I don't know what your names are. I wish I did. I wish I knew your name so I could just call you out and go, you are magnificent. Yeah, you are magnificent. You who make models. Stunning.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly right. The heart and soul of the company and the main reason why we all play this game. Gorgeous models. Keep being magnificent. All right, so stunning models.
Yep. Amazing rules. It's so you have again 3+ saves with multiple wounds. Gets out of hand really fast.
Yeah.
5 stars on Heroes or whatever, it's fine. The army has recursion, which is
a tiny bit.
It's still good on 3+ save 2 wound models.
Yeah. On certain units, not everything.
Yeah. Mass teleports that we discussed.
The teleports is where they really excel. Their mobility is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, because you look at it, you're like, oh, they move 5. Where are they going to go? Turns out wherever they want to go, right? The book is amazing. It's probably out of the actual battle tomes we have, it's the best one, and it was the first one too.
The best one. Okay, I'm going to disagree.
That's fine. You're allowed to.
It's okay. I'm allowed to disagree, but I am not going to disagree. I'm going to disagree by degrees.
Fair. Okay.
So no, I don't think it's the best book.
Okay, sorry.
It's very, very good.
So the problem, the book has very good internal balance and very good external balance.
It has a very good internal balance, you think?
Yeah, because again, so if you look at what currently is dominating in Stormcast, if you remove those things, you still get a very solid army. So you remove Paladors from there, right? Still very solid. Remove Long Strikes, which have come back since the nerf, still solid. Right, Vigilers, get rid of those, which are a huge problem.
Vigilers are bonkers.
Stupidest freaking, I don't know who decided
Vigilers
this.
are bonkers. So anyone new watching this, Vigilers have an attack ability that when they tag you, so when they inflict a wound, the entire army has a +1 to hit that unit
The rest
with
of the,
all attacks. That's shooting and melee.
yes, the rest of the turn or whatever, which is
Yeah.
crazy. If it was
For-
just that phase, it'd be fine.
It's great.
Yes. if
You
play
could
so
take a
fast.
unit of 10 of these guys and go split fire.
It's 21 shots. Yeah.
Because they fire 2 shots apiece. It's not single shots.
That's exactly. And they're round 1, just like Kurnoth
Just
shooting
enough.
trees
Just
at
enough.
people.
Just enough.
But I'm saying, like, take all the current meta stuff out, still does really well.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I ran a GT this past weekend, and someone took 6 Annihilate with shields.
Yeah.
Turns out 3 wounds on a 2-up save in their sub-faction with a 5+ ward save. It's pretty solid.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. How many 2+ saves are in a game? I think there's like
2 I can think of.
there's them. There was a steam tank.
Skull Crushers.
Skull Crushers. Sorry, that's the Corn guys from Blades of Corn,
The
right?
Mortal
The
ones.
Juggernauts.
Yeah.
All right, so
They're A+.
really good book. Now, from a competitive perspective, it's a really good book. But is it actually a really good book?
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay, it's okay.
No, I mean it. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Okay, I'm listening.
From a game perspective, it's fantastic.
Yes.
I just wish it had more.
They got rid of the more.
Yeah, I just wish it had. What do I mean by more? What I meant is,
It's very
this is pretty
straightforward.
much the index
Yes, 100%.
with a terrain piece.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem with most of the books.
Yeah, so that was with the more I wanted, but not all of them. So anyway, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
So that's
Stormcast Eternals.
Stormcast Eternals, right here, baby. I freaking love these guys.
Army's really
Is the
cool.
book good?
If you skew really hard in a lot of bodies or rolling 1,000,000 dice, it's okay. That's what the book falls in the okay spot. Again, there's models that got updated after, there were models that were in the range from before I was born that finally got updates. The Globadiers, or Acolytes now. Beautiful, but you never see them.
Gorgeous.
You never see them.
Let me say it one more time, man. You beautiful human beings. That,
Design people, keep
so
doing
good.
it. Yeah, keep doing it.
So good.
Yeah, it's very middle of the pack, average-ish, design-wise.
I don't like the book.
Competitively, it's whatever. It
Yeah.
doesn't do anything crazy.
From a competitive perspective, you can have a meh book and still be competitive.
Yeah, he was skew one way or another, right? Let's say
Yeah,
take
exactly.
12 Rattling guns, rigid.
Exactly.
He rolled 1,000,000 dice.
I love the feel of Skaven.
Yes.
The model range is absolutely sexy.
The army plays the way you'd want it to play.
Yeah.
Your army looks like an army. It's not like just 13 dudes or whatever.
Yep.
Which is a Skaven number, ironically. But yeah.
Being clever, is that what you said?
No, it was total accident.
You be clever, yeah. You are
Yeah,
clever.
exactly. But yeah, it's very middle of the pack competitive wise, but I think the idea of Skaven is really cool.
But they've surged forward with degenerate competitive play.
Yes, which is
and
good.
then got nerfed. So this
Yeah.
is a not so hot book that skews hard, can be extremely competitive, but then got nerfed because they were just being so oppressive.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they tried to move some toys in the form of rattling guns. Rattling guns are really
yeah,
quite nuts.
it's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, quite.
Turns out rolling on 1,000,000
quite
dice
nuts.
is good.
So was this a good book?
It's an okay book. No, it's not a good book.
I don't think it's a good book.
No. The problem is the same thing, right? From the index to this, not much changed.
Not. But on top of that,
Yeah.
it had very, very spammy lists.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do not like spam lists. Now, not because I'm against anyone wanting to do that.
yeah,
My issue I have with spam lists is when you lean so hard on a war scroll
Yeah.
to actually be competitive, you're a 10-point adjustment for just having your army basically wiped.
yeah, exactly.
And that sucks. And the part that really bothers me about books like this that have to skew to be good is the feeling of being baited and switched.
Yeah, well, again, that's how with ogres in their index, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
So the concept of bait switch, guys, is you drop a little honeypot saying, this is a $10 codex or a $10 book. And then you get there and then you find out, oh, but there's a $20 or $30 entry fee. And then there's a shipping and handling fee. I was like, wait a second, how did a $10 book?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bait and switch. So they, in the hopes to move certain things, and I'm not implying, you're like going, oh, of course Games Workshop wants to move new models. Man, they've shown plenty of evidence that they do not do that.
No.
Not remotely. I could give you on and on examples of whole new ranges of models, and we're about to get there. Whole new ranges of models that are absolute dog stuff you have to scoop up so you don't get fined by a city that you live in.
Which, oddly enough, it's actually better if you leave it on the ground. It's better for the environment. Anyways, yes.
Terrible.
Yes.
Absolutely terrible. So when you have to skew that hard to be competitive, that's when you know not so hot.
It's not so good, no.
Right? Go back, wait. Now we go to this one. We nerf something. Oh, it's okay, I can pivot somewhere else.
Something else,
You nerf that, it's okay. I pivot somewhere else. Good book.
Good book, yeah, exactly. Not good book.
Nerf. Oh, I could skew this way, nerf that. Ooh.
If you even have those options to begin with, right?
Yeah, and if you have a bunch of friends that you could borrow 160 clan rats from, and then rock out at some sort of event and just push all that plastic. You have the patience to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Good on you, Tom.
Yeah.
Good on you.
He had Vizic also.
What's that?
He had Vizic Scour.
Yeah, sure.
Because they need to fight on death or fight twice, whatever it is.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. What I'm saying is that you can borrow all that, but then what happens when they get nerfed?
Yeah, exactly.
Skaven clan rats getting nerfed. I just can't see it. But what happens if that gets nerfed?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. You can't play Rat Ogre. People have been playing the Menagerie or whatever, but the same problem, right? You can't.
I don't like it.
Books no bueno.
It's like, bah.
Yeah.
But cool army,
cool.
And at least you have ways of playing it competitively.
Yeah.
I love Vizic.
The model's super cool.
I love
super
that model.
cool. And the War Machines. Anyways, let's get to
let's get into the next one. The next one we go into guest appearance, old book cover.
Yeah.
We get into Auric. No, it isn't.
Oh,
it's different.
The Iron Jaws guy.
You're confusing the bad armies, man.
Oh, am I?
You're confusing the bad armies.
So many of them. Yeah.
There's so many bad armies. Yeah. All right, so we get into Auric War Clans. Okay, so.
It's all you.
What do you mean? You can have an opinion on this.
It's a shared opinion. Go ahead.
No, it is a bit of a shared opinion, I guess. So the issue I had with this book is, again, a cut and pasta of previous indexes. Not only that, you're looking at War Scroll upon War Scroll and asking why.
Yeah.
Why? Why? On the cover of this book is Cruel Boys. Here's a prime example, folks, of an entire range of models that was released in third and was dead on arrival.
They're in a launch box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead on arrival.
Brand new army.
People were excited because of why? The design team, the guys that design models, were so fantastic at their job, people bought the army.
It's super cool.
But the part where it wasn't so good at their job, the guys who wrote the paper, the words, the words, they realized this is terrible.
It was continuously terrible.
And it was terrible for so long. And then there was a great hope of fourth. And then the fourth came out, and they were like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was the best designed destruction army.
Okay, design-wise, sure.
No, mechanically, it was the best designed destruction army.
Okay.
And it batted 500.
Okay.
Enough to get you in the Hall of Fame of baseball.
Yeah.
But a 50-50 split, maybe 45, maybe 450. Wasn't exactly dominating the meta.
No.
And so when we heard book.
It has to be good.
Right?
It can't get any worse.
Can't be.
Yeah. Well.
They get nerfed.
Turns out, we were wrong.
They get nerfed.
I don't know. That's only half the book, though. But I don't.
They get nerfed. And then you go into the orc units, and then Iron Jaws come, and you're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
So the problem here is identity of the faction.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. What is the identity of Order? Like if you were to pick a thing, I'm going to ask you only this once, and then I'll just kind of fill in the blanks. So I don't want to, you're not an idiot, right? And you don't know what's in my head.
No.
I just wanted to see how clear it is initially, okay? So I'm asking you this question. If you were to identify a thing that Order does very well, what does it do?
They take a hit. It's meant to do.
Taking a hit?
Yeah.
Me, overall, when I think of Order, I think of shooting.
There is definitely shooting in Order, yeah.
Yeah, they just seem to be the best faction for that.
Yes, well, yes, there's reasons, but yes.
Yeah, they think that overall, I think that's their thing. And movement, maybe.
The one army that does everything in Order, yes. And it's just humans, which is cool. Well, just humans.
It's like, there's like Order armies that don't move fast. Okay,
Yeah.
cities, I guess.
They do move fast. Fast as anything. That's my point.
That's right.
Cities does whatever you want. Anything you want. Say Sigmar, done.
But that's their niche that they carve out.
Yeah.
I mean, do they do combat well? Yeah, they do. But they're not the best at it. You won't think of combat and think of Order.
No, for the most part, no.
But shooting, yes.
Yes, they'll shoot.
Lots.
They buff themselves to
Movement.
be good. Yeah, teleport.
Absolutely amazing.
Discuss
we go to
teleporting.
chaos.
Fight stuff.
Fight stuff.
Punch a guy in the face.
The
stab
absolute
him.
best in the game.
Yeah.
Fighting stuff.
That's it.
Right? Death.
Bring stuff back. Be durable.
Be swarmy.
Yeah.
Almost without a fault, almost every single undead army is a very swarmy-based army.
Yeah.
And because of those swarms, plus all the recursion, very durable.
Which, yeah, it plays the way you'd think it would with a bunch of just zombies, skeletons, whatever. Any
And those are the peaks.
Yeah.
What is the identity of destruction? And obviously that's where I was going.
They're well, chaos fights we said already, so they don't fight.
They don't.
They like fighting. That's the lore.
They have fighting in their
They
list.
they don't shoot. There's like
They
one.
don't shoot. You're correct.
Not very well. They don't move.
They don't move well.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
They don't have very
What
good
else?
magic. No.
No good magic.
Okay, cool.
I mean, there's a smattering there, but we're talking broad strokes. Yeah.
The recursion. I don't think the Loon Shrine is the only thing I can think of that.
The only recursion army in destruction is Gits, which I think is good.
I guess orcs,
but
Iron
overall,
Jaws. There's nothing one thing that sticks out saying, hey.
to say this is the identity of the whole entire faction.
No.
So what did we cover?
No, that's a lie.
Oh.
The identity of destruction is Kragnos.
I hate you so
Is
much.
Kragnos.
The identity of destruction is Kragnos in here. And I can't even, don't even get me started. Don't get me started. Okay, if you ever want to know what my opinion of Kragnos is, look at previous videos. Maybe we'll post them in the link.
It'll
And
come
you're
up.
going
I'll
to
make
waste
sure.
your time
I'll make sure it comes
listening
up.
to a guy be very, very upset. And it's not a comment on the effectiveness of Kragnos, by the way. It has nothing to do with that.
No.
It is purely the aesthetics of the model, which is a very well-designed model, but it does not match.
Destruction. Oh, no, my thing is destruction they need to have Kragnos to have a shot because he helps.
So before Kragnos, they don't move well.
Yeah.
They don't shoot well.
Nope.
They don't fight the best. They don't cast the best.
They're not super durable.
Hey, new customer. I really like that ogre. I mean, nope. Now, ogres can move pretty well.
Ogres can, yeah.
Yeah.
They do damage on the charge. Don't know are good. Yeah.
I like them.
They got bodies.
Yeah.
But like they also everything hits on force. That's a problem.
It's weird that the overall faction are supposed to operate in one phase, which is the combat, and they're not even the best at it.
No.
And they're not the best at it.
No, they're not even the second best at it.
And now it gets even worse when you're talking now specific books.
Yeah.
And when you start talking Orc war clans, Iron Jaws are not the best melee army in the game.
Nope.
And that's all they can do. That's all they can do.
Yeah, nothing.
They don't do anything else.
Even their combat tricks are gone from last edition. Like Mighty Destroyers is not the same.
Oh, I love Mighty Destroyers.
Smash and Bash.
No, but I do love Mighty Destroyers.
Oh, it is good.
In
It is good.
In its
current form. Yes.
current form, it is very, very cool.
Yes.
But, wow.
Oh yeah, they don't do anything.
Like, can you build a competitive list out of this book? Yes, you can. I think it's been proven time and time again.
For sure.
Is this book is good? Because no, it is not.
This book is not good.
No, and I heard, I was on a channel I was watching and he was saying, well, we were all wrong. I mean, obviously Iron Jaws are good because obviously the book is good. No, the book is not good. The book is actually bad. But Ard Boys are pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? So why are Ard Boys pretty good? Because it released in third and it didn't sell. Why? Because they were really, really bad.
They were bad. They're beautiful.
Again, brand new models.
So nice.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Dead on arrival.
Yep.
Big giant pigs. Absolutely stunning.
Yep.
Released, dead on arrival.
Even the Army right now doesn't do enough.
Then
Yeah.
they're better in this book.
Yes, they're.
And they're better in this book not because of any love or care or consideration, because if any of that was part of the mix of the design, it would have expressed in other ways.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll explain that nuance in the next little bit. This is more like a conscious decision that, boys, there's a whole bunch of boxes in the back room. You guys need to do your job and make this better. And they adjusted that. And they made those units specifically better.
Yep, 100%.
But if I told you a Mega Boss, the leader of the entire Iron Jaws faction, hits on 4s, and not a single one of its weapons, both from the Maw Crusher or the big giant slab of a human, well, orc being,
Yeah.
is greater than Rend 1.
Doesn't make sense. His sword is as big as his table. And yeah, it doesn't. No. So again, so like they can't hit stuff reliably. Now they're not hurting stuff reliably either when they do connect.
It
half
is
the time.
the cruelest of jokes
Yeah.
that they combined
A dirty
really
trick, if you
slow movement
Dirty trick.
combined with an army that fights mediocre
Yeah.
and does nothing else.
Yeah. No. It's like you said. Like the things that got buffed, feel they were solely buffed to sell kits, which again are beautiful.
Yeah.
And like yes.
Oh boy, do that. I have, by the way, 1, 2, 4 or 5 great pigs.
There you go.
2 of them are fully painted. I love Iron Jaws. I just
super
love the
cool.
model range. I just wish the design team. Sorry, when I say the design team, I mean the guys who
Rules.
write the words, that do the word thing,
the rules for the game.
the
yeah.
typing of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Make all of it good.
And then enters my other point I'm trying to make with the books is massive bias.
Yeah.
And I don't think the design team is very clearly not a fan of destruction.
In any capacity.
None.
Like yeah.
I think all illusions of where destruction stands on the design, they have no identity.
Yep.
They haven't made an effort to define anything. The way they design rules is dysfunctional. It doesn't make any sense. When they designed the book, no one designing this book is planning on playing this army.
No, exactly.
And again, don't you worry. How could you possibly say that, Lionel? I'm about to back up all these statements on examples that are coming.
Yeah.
They're coming, believe me.
They're there.
No one who wrote this book
is going to play this book.
had any plans in playing this army.
Yeah.
Because if they did, they would have adjusted those rules.
Yeah.
Do you think a brute, the size 8-10 feet tall, riding a minivan, would be
generous,
our point scoring unit? That's its job.
Exactly. It's because it can't kill stuff, right? So
It can kill stuff. I made it kill stuff, but not enough.
Yeah, not what's worth it. Not that's worth it. No.
Yeah.
But what you do.
That's the design choice they made.
Yeah.
So Gore-Gruntas, which are the cav unit, every cav unit in the game can unlock damage and do rend or do something. This has anti-cav on the model, which I actually kind of like,
It's good because there's a lot of cav in the game,
but no extra damage on anything.
which is not good.
Mostly because of other design choices, because they have access to a prayer. It nerfed our cav. I tell you what you could have done. You could have chucked that prayer right into the heart of the sun and made the cav actually good.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually made all our stuff good, because that was curbing it back. And no one arrived at that conclusion because they just didn't care.
Exactly.
They had a timeline. This had to get printed.
So you pump it out.
Every single one of these books we're talking about were printed, written over a year ago. So if a book gets better, folks, so this is what you got to see. If a book gets better, it's not because of reaction of market.
Yeah.
It's because of the care that was put into the book.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they got a rules update. Gore-Gruntas hit on 4s now. The pigs hit on 4s.
Don't get me started.
The pigs hit on 4s. Oh yeah, best book time.
Bam!
Best book.
Baby!
In every
Let me get that out of the way.
possible way.
This is Slaves to Darkness, baby.
Someone that makes rules for this game plays this army.
Yes.
Oh, like even so, it has to be popular because even locally, we have at least 4, 5, 6 people coming, including myself, that play this.
Yes.
Super iconic to the IP, obviously, right? 10-foot tall dude, spiky armor, cutting your head off. Yes, this book is amazing. Providing you're wearing armor. If you're Conan, not so much, but depends. They do different things. They do different things, and that's the neat thing, right?
Yep.
I can play an army of hyper elite combat monsters that feel that way.
Yep.
Right. I'll take 6 Vanguard, 10 Chosen, whatever it is. Right.
Even Chaos Warriors.
And they're
Chaos Warriors are fantastic.
kill. Oh, amazing. But the point is, I can take a very small amount of models in my army, and they always punch up.
Yep.
Right. I'm never worried about I gotta punch down X amount of times.
Yep.
On the weekend, I had 10 Chosen fight against giants. I'm like, yeah, this is fine. Bad things happened, but in my head, I'm like, yeah, I can kill 2 giants by fighting twice. Didn't happen because I'm bad rolling dice. But point is, the confidence exists because of the war scrolls, right, and how well they're written for all that stuff. If I want to sit on a point, cool. I'm confident my guys won't die. I won't lose a million of them. I also get buffs for sitting on points with some stuff, right? With again, Chaos Warriors. Cool.
Yeah.
My basic troops are 2 wounds, 3 up save, whatever, a million attacks. The book is
It's
great.
fun.
And if I don't want to play, again, 8-foot tall dudes in armor, I could play an army of a million Conans, which in the same book, I get a lot of versatility out of it, right?
Because they're cheap.
They are. It's 80 points now for 10 dudes.
Yeah.
That if you play the right sub-faction, half of them come back.
Yeah.
Right? Almost whoever I want them to. Yeah.
And when they
that's
exit,
very good.
they could cause mortals on 4 plus, right?
Yeah,
I believe
it depends what they are and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But like again, same idea as the Stormcast stuff. Not nearly as many things are competitively viable, but someone cared about this army and put a lot of love into it.
Yeah.
Yes, we lost things from the index to the book, which when it came out in December or so, I was upset about. But given what changed and what they got, it would have been too much. Right?
I think so. Yeah.
If Eye of the Gods stayed the same, I could give my Chosen, Rend 2 or whatever it is,
Yeah.
with all the stuff that they had that in the index, but it had to go away, right? It was too much, and the army still is amazing, right? Even with constant point increases, you still see those phenomenal units. If not, again, sub it out, take something else, right? So yeah, the book is very good.
It's such a great book, and it's true of the fact that that when things are getting nerfed, and they still have ways to pivot.
Yeah, it's fine, right? Because
It's
now
great.
I'd make choices, right? I could take Vanguard and Chosen, but it's too many points. I take one or the other, and they still perform, and they're amazing.
Or you could still do it.
You can still do. You can take the same Bellacore list. Doesn't matter.
You could still do it. You dropped a few units,
Yeah.
and you could still rock out with both Vanguard and Chosen.
And Bellacore, who's
Yeah.
the best unit. Yuri, if you're watching this, he's the best unit in the entire game. You're insane.
I love Bellacore.
He does everything, which is problematic for the game, but the bias is, it's okay, it's fine.
I love.
And the model's
that
beautiful.
guy.
But point is,
Yeah.
right, they have options, right? I play with Archaon a bunch, right? If you don't kill him by turn 2, he doesn't die, right? It's close to impossible unless I kill him myself, which happened last time.
You'll find a way.
Well, yeah, I place a power to roll dice and I miscast a spell and died. Anyways, the point is, yeah, the book is very solid, right? There's almost no bad choices. It's not like Stormcast where I can close my eyes and do stuff. I still need to build lists to do things.
Yeah.
But like my taxes are, like I said, 2 chariots earlier, 160 points for
Chariots are
2
so
things. Good. Cool. Woo, go.
At 80 points,
Right.
they're
Amazing.
perfection.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolute
Right? So,
perfection. You can perform battle tactics with them. You can screen with
screen
them.
things out, 'cause they're
They
huge
got
bases.
big enough butts that they could just block whole sections of the table. They're just great.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, no, the
They're
book,
just great.
there's no question, the book is phenomenal.
And
right?
the dramatic difference.
Yeah.
This was basically written at the same time,
Yeah.
and the guy who wrote this had
The guy who wrote this plays this army.
yeah
Yeah.
no care,
Yeah. So.
none. All the decisions were emotionless.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
want it to be as fair as possible. We don't want anything broken. oh, but my Chaos Boys, well, you know, that guy could get an extra AP. That guy is pretty good.
Hey, My Hero Becoming a Demon Prince is thematic, okay?
And then we're back over to this guy, and we're like, oh, everything, you know, this is too much.
My cabbage should have Rend 1 on its fists. This
Rend
guy
1.
as big as a house. His fists are as big as a house.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's bad.
Such a gorgeous model still.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. For an AOS 1 model, yeah.
And it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So this book, fantastic. I also like, again, though, this was more or less an index.
Yeah, they
but
changed.
I upgraded, I think.
Oh, 100%.
I like the fact that the marks are audibles in the game, meaning you can adapt to your game with it as opposed
with
to
what you need.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. It was a neat nerf and cool factor.
Yeah, I was saying, like initially when it came out, I'm like, ugh, this is not the best or whatever. But yeah, just being able to pivot to what I need is huge, right?
I like it. I like it a lot.
So good.
And then this is the only book that has cool banners.
Yeah, well, she has magic banners.
So armies can get enhancements, and they can only get one enhancement from each type.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
So one's a heroic, which means just your personality or whatever, your superhuman ability.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one's an artifact, so you could have your Green Lantern ring.
Yeah.
And then these guys get an extra artifact that no one else has access to in the form of cool banners.
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah.
Because they all give you a mark and another benefit also.
Yeah, I really dig this book.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, very, very solid book, and it's expressed in the meta, in the game.
There's just love in this book, right?
There is love in this book, and that is the part I want you to focus on. The books that are absolutely barren are the ones that did not have a person who cared about the project they're working on and were just trying to complete the task because they needed to hammer out a book. And the books that are just absolutely great is designed by a guy or a gal who is planning on playing that army.
Yeah, they
who
care
loves that army. And it shows in the work. You cannot force a person to love.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh.
Oh, well, oh no. The worst.
So Baron.
Self-worth. Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about Baron.
We might disagree a bit on this book.
Oh, I doubt it.
A little bit.
I don't think so.
No, we won't, but still.
I don't think so.
And try. Suspense for the audience.
What's the suspense? Yeah, I mean, I think I've very clearly stated how I feel about this book.
Book sucks.
But all right, I want to hear, I have some positive things to say.
Yeah, okay.
I do have some positive things to say. But this is the special edition of this book, and I do like this. I love the cover of this.
We have not said what this is yet.
I love the fact that it has the moon on the back and the sun on the front.
If it's your first time, you're not going to know this is Gloomspite Gits. But
this is Gloomspite Gits. I have a absolutely massive collection of Gloomspite Gits. I own pretty much everything except for majority of the spiders. But even spiders, I also own.
Spider Riders are old. They're from way back when.
Yeah, I own Spider Riders. None of them are assembled. I own an Arachnarok that's assembled. Yeah, I know. I just don't like them. I don't like the fact that they're
the big
old Warhammer models.
No,
and they're not dynamic.
The medium spider guy, the Goblin on Gigantic Spider is cool, and the Ragnarok is so cool.
There was a rumor that was going to be coming out as a model as a special release for spiders, and it never happened. I guess it was just
there's a boss on Spider.
I know, but it was going to be a plastic version of it.
Oh, well, that's
I actually don't think that guy exists anymore. Actually,
probably in old world. What it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right, so tell me about this book. What did you think?
Again, beautiful new models. All the wolf stuff, so nice.
Stunning.
You got goblins on wolves. You got 2 goblins on wolves.
Stunning.
You got a catapult. Oh, Doom Diver, so cool.
Is there a loser model out of that new range
the new
of
stuff?
Gits?
No, God no. It's impossible. Even the existing stuff, there's nothing that's. It's spiders. We said spiders. It doesn't count.
Okay.
Doesn't count.
I'm pretty sure it counts.
Okay, fine. Spider's bad.
Okay, all right.
Otherwise, no. Everything beautiful, amazing. The rules that they chose to write for these things, though, the Doom Diver is okay.
The Doom Diver.
It's okay because it has a classic destruction risk reward, bit more risk than reward, but yes.
I like the Doom Diver.
Oh, it's cool.
It's 180 points.
For 4 shots. Rend 2, 3 damage. And you reroll them, lose some rend. It's good, and it's a huge base.
Model is sick.
It's so cool.
So good.
But so the design for the rules for it is basically wolves charge in, wolves leave. So it's hit and run stuff, which is cool. Makes sense for goblins, the lore of the goblins and stuff. Makes perfect sense. The problem is to be able to leave, you need to be alive to leave. 2 wounds and a 5-up save, maybe a 4-up save is not enough to
on the wolves. But the chariots.
Yes, those are great. They're 6 wounds and a 4-up save.
Yeah.
And they get 2 in a unit, which is cool, on gigantic
so you can have
bases.
4. Yeah.
On huge bases.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea is charge in, do whatever, and leave. Problem is you're not going to be alive to leave, but because you're on such big bases on the wolves, on the chariots, you just want to plant stuff in front of you and then that's it, screen stuff out. The hero is cool. The hero is the wolf, by the way, not the guy on top.
What a loss of opportunity. One of my customers, Elise, actually pointed this out. It would have been amazing if the rider on top was the companion attacks.
That'd be great.
And the wolf. That would have required love. That would have required care to even think of that. And it would have made no difference at all to the rules of the game.
For what it does, no.
It would have been funny.
Yeah,
People would have got the joke immediately. It would have been pure genius. But for the genius to exist,
as we love, right?
You need to have care.
Yeah, so overall, the new wolf stuff, not great. And then if we look at it...
Not great.
Bad, okay, it's bad, okay? If we look at the index to the battle tome, it got worse. It got worse. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
That's it?
Yeah.
That was your positivity?
Yeah, the models are beautiful. That's the high point, is the models are great.
That was your positivity.
And the Doom Driver
Tell me
kills
exactly
stuff.
where we disagree.
The Doom Driver can kill stuff sometimes.
This is the part where we disagree?
It's fine, go ahead, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, fine, we agree, this book is
not... I was doing reviews on books. This book came out. I gotta tell you, the reason why you haven't seen the review...
Wait, the best part of the book, I forgot.
Oh, so... Okay, go ahead.
The best part of the book?
Go ahead.
Is Kragnos.
He's not wrong.
No, I'm not.
He's not wrong.
Continue. He's also
Anyway,
the best part of
I was supposed to do a review, and my issue I had with doing the review on this book is I couldn't bring myself. Honestly, it led off with disappointment. It led off with anger, frustration, and it's like, how do I review this book in a positive light? Now, I'm not going to tell you that there isn't a way to win with this book, because there is.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. You
can squeeze this lemon and get juice. You really, really can.
In fact, you squeeze the fungus, and that's where it comes from.
There you go. So you can do it. It's just, who in the heck writes a spell?
Oh no.
Right?
Yeah.
That when you successfully cast it, you then need to roll a dice, and after successfully casting the spell, it only works on a 3+.
It goes from a 5 though, doesn't the spell? It's unlimited.
Who does that? What genius wrote that and goes, man, I nailed it. And then takes that and goes, hey boss, check out this.
Done.
And then that guy goes, holy crap. You deserve a bump in pay. You get a promotion. Hot damn. I can't believe you designed such an amazing spell.
These things might not have happened, but yeah.
Like how?
It doesn't make sense.
How? This spell, by the way, replaced -1 to hit. It was a conditional -1 to hit. It wasn't even, you had to be wholly within 12 of it.
That's fine.
And which people were like, well, I have to hold 12, I'll just toe out, now you don't get it. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good sometimes.
It's better than whatever this is.
Replaced by that. Yeah. The lore. I can't, like, we'll get to it when I do the review, if I ever do the review. There's been a ton of people that have gone through all the War Scrolls. I sure as heck, I'm not going to be wasting my time doing that. That'd be way more effort put into doing the review on this than it took to actually write the book.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I cannot.
Well, the problem too is like this book, it's like 4 armies in one though, right? You have the wolf
5.
stuff. You have the wolf stuff.
It's 5
you have
flippin' armies.
trolls. You have spiders. You have
And
moon
why?
plant and squigs.
Why? Why do we have these?
Like it would function better as 5 individual books.
Or
a couple.
Or pare it down.
Yeah, that's why we don't need spiders anymore.
You didn't put a single iota of effort into making spiders good. So why are they still in this book? Everyone was expecting them to be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so why are they here? Is it because you have another department that can use the models and you don't want that department to be able to use the models because you're in some sort of weird
multi-billion-dollar business
because there's
war?
no gosh darn adult in the room to say wake the F up, you're both on the same side?
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, it's very sad.
Why do GITs exist in AOS? They're literally old world models.
Yeah, they're all the old ones. Like those could leave and just keep squigs.
That should have just been
keep
in old
trolls.
world.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can keep squigs, trolls, and new wolves, and you're fine.
Yeah.
And that's more than enough. That's more than most other armies have.
If I was to tell you that these new wolf models do absolutely nothing in combat, you'd be like, come on. They do nothing.
They don't do a thing.
3 to 4 wounds in combat.
No, you.
Off of a chariot. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not talking about
Oh yeah.
the heavy hitter.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They're there for. So they're there for just being big bases. But the problem is the average person isn't going to do that, right?
Oh my God! The average person.
Yeah.
Do you know how much money it costs? Here's a competitive list you can do in this book.
Yeah.
Right. 16 chariots.
Yep.
A chariot boss, chariot wizard,
Yeah.
and 3 catapults.
Yeah, that's expensive.
And all that does is you just take those 16 chariots, score battle tactics,
yeah.
maybe score some primary, interfere with charge lanes, choke them up, and as they die, recycle them through your shrine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If that is actually degenerate and you're like going, man, that actually doesn't sound so bad. Oh, by the way, while doing that, you're just smashing the guy in the face
Yeah.
with 3 catapults that fire 9 or 12 shots.
That was 4 shots.
Is it 4 shots apiece?
4 shots. Yeah.
So 12 shots at 3 flat damage, neg 3 rend. Even if you don't reroll, you'll do something.
Yeah.
And you're like going, that doesn't sound actually all that bad.
Yeah.
If I told you that the actual boss chariot has a board-wide -1 to hit that he can just go on. After you declared your thing,
Yeah.
board-wide, every wolf chariot is -1 to hit. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, sounds really good.
This is not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to know what the price tag of that army is?
Go ahead.
And let's just say that is so good, in fact, that it needs to be nerfed.
Yeah, then you're, like we said, Skaven, you're screwed.
You are just shafted, and you spent
They're what, $80 for 1 chariot or
for
2
2 chariots or something like that. Canadian $80, so
Yeah.
American, let's just say it's $80.
Yeah.
So American, that would be about 70-ish bucks. So in the Uckland, that would be about 35 pounds.
Yeah.
And in dollary dues, that would be probably something in the Canadian dollars as well.
Yeah.
So
Point is, it's expensive.
Point is,
Yeah.
an F ton.
Yeah, exactly.
And you are a 10-point adjustment to having your whole entire army wiped.
Yeah, it's not good. And again, it's not.
So there's
like
a competitive
amazing.
list you can go.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what another one is? For whatever reason, Bounders for Squigs.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Oh,
amazing.
they're phenomenal.
Problem is, you taking 30 of them?
Yeah.
30 of them plus 2 herds?
Yep.
There's another list right there.
Well, it's the same thing. I think it's the squigs are what, $60 for 5 or something like that.
And you're 1 nerf away for having Bounders get corrected. And they are genuinely good.
They're
I'm
good.
like,
They're not broken. They're
they're
solid
just
work.
genuinely good. They do nice amount of mortal wounds.
Yeah.
They do a nice amount of mortal, damage, just regular damage, And they become even better when you add the orange donkey to the list.
I was going to say, you got Kragnos, it's amazing.
Yeah, add 3d6 charge to that. Obviously, you get less squigs. You're not rocking 30 anymore.
Sure. And then all the buff pieces and stuff too. But it's the same issue, right? 10, 20 points, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right? And, then
And
what
you
do?
spent that time, money, effort, and there's no other way to pivot because there's no depth to this. And why is there no depth? What do we learn here?
Yeah.
Right? What's the big difference?
It's love, man.
Love, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
Person who designed this book was not planning on playing this army, folks.
Nope. Nope, exactly. They just don't care. And it's the same problem with Cruel Boys. You got all these amazing, beautiful models with wolves. It's not.
If I told you 2 days ago in this store, one of my customers who bought this, who's getting back into AOS, bought this because he owned a whole bunch of trolls, and then came to me and said, Lionel, am I missing something? Because I wasn't here.
Yeah.
So I was not in my store. You don't know me as well, or at least some of you don't. But if you're going to reach across my shelves and grab something, I will 100% tell you whether you should or shouldn't, and then tell you why. And then you can make your own choices.
Of course.
Right. I would have never told him to buy the book.
Yeah, that's fair. But he did.
He did.
Yeah.
And then came to, am I missing something, or are these guys like really bad? He hasn't played a game in over a year and a half.
And he knows.
He got buried in RC cars, comes to my store because now he's excited about playing AOS, grabs a book, brings it home through no bias at all.
Yeah, just cool models.
Just cool models because he loves trolls.
Yeah, and trolls are cool.
And trolls are decent. I don't like the fact that they got nerfed and did not get points adjustment.
Yes.
They deserved the nerf because that was ridiculous.
It was obscene, yes.
Absolutely obscene. But what they got is a version between a luxury mansion and a trailer park, right?
Yeah.
So that was too much.
Yeah.
And then this is like way on the opposite end of the spectrum. -1 rend to melee attacks.
Yeah.
Not all attacks, melee attacks.
That's it.
Order just mops them off the table.
Yeah. Back to your point though.
Back
Guy
to my
buys,
point.
buys
Guys
stuff,
buys it and comes to me and says, well, why is it bad? And I was like, oh my God, you bought that book. He goes, yeah. I was like, oh.
Wish I was here.
All right, well, let me tell you. There's some good stuff. And then I told him about the squigs, and I told him about the, and then the thing that was not good.
Yeah.
So, long story short, this book is about, I think, out of all the books, and this is an incredibly biased opinion, the worst.
Oh, I would agree.
Yeah, this is the worst. The most incompetent rules writing, the most off-the-wall weirdness. Like, for instance, bounders are great.
Either.
Bounders are great.
Yeah.
Herds are good.
Yep.
You would think the Mangler Squig would be amazing.
Oh, no. Not anymore.
Mangler Squid is terrible.
He was good in fantasy.
Like, tragically terrible. It's such a beautiful model. So beautiful. It's got fangs the size of my arms. Rend 1.
Rend 1. What really sucks is they probably have the coolest battle trait or army mechanic of any army before, right? The moon.
Oh my God, don't even get me on the moon.
You would choose where the moon started, and it would progress over the battlefield.
Yes, yeah.
But now it's just a wheel. But the wheel only affects certain stuff at certain times. Before, the moon was like, okay, I'm in this corner, everything that has this keyword gets this keyword gets that, blah, 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 blah. Now it's like the moon is on cycle 2 and it only affects one of the 5 sub-factions or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's really cool idea, thematic. So you're fighting a battle, and you're like, oh, this giant moon is flying over. It doesn't do anything anymore, nothing impactful.
It is incredibly dysfunctional, hard to describe if you don't play the actual faction. They readjusted, they now have a compass, and each quarter has one of the factions in it. But not all 5, folks.
No.
Because I said quarter.
Yeah.
So the 5th one is shared by
another one.
The spiders.
But you can adjust.
The spiders.
Yeah, spiders share one.
Are not even on the compass.
Nope.
And they're still in this book. It's okay. It's okay. It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And then it's what you want to do is it's quartered, right? So you want the 2 armies to be kind of beside each other to take advantage of the moon cycle.
Yep.
But if it goes across, it becomes a little dysfunctional. In fact, a lot of dysfunctional.
Yes.
And it's hard for you to leverage that moon mechanic.
But thankfully, you have an amazing spell that when you cast it and then you roll 3+, you can change where the moon is.
You have to cast it, then roll a die after successfully casting it, and then you can adjust it.
Yeah, by 1 space. Or
by 1 space.
maybe if you do the super version by 2 spaces.
It is something. It is something. And it's like, I have 160 goblins painted, and I love grots. Grots do absolutely nothing.
No.
And I can't express, you're like, well, they're just goblins, Lionel. What more do you want?
Yeah.
Like, they're just goblins. If I said clan rats were garbage,
You're crazy.
yes, anyone who knows
You're crazy.
knows that clan rats are not garbage.
Yeah, no.
Within the context of the book, they're actually quite excellent.
Yeah.
Especially army that went 5-0, they 160 of them.
Yeah, well, because you fight twice or whatever, plus you have crit, auto, whatever it is, a million attacks.
They move quick enough.
You know, you teleport in the army. It's fine.
In the contest, you can kick out mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Skeletons, also just a horde.
Yeah.
They don't suck.
Nope.
We're about to get to that book.
Very good.
Yeah, they do not suck. They have a thing.
Yeah.
Ghouls
Oh,
have
amazing.
piles and copious amounts of attacks.
Yep.
Again, these are things that typically hit on 4s or 5s, but within, you could leverage it. They have a quality to their quantity.
Yeah, it's your basic chaff, but like they actually do stuff.
Yeah.
Goblins do not do stuff.
Grots don't do anything except occupy space on the table.
Yeah.
And you're like going, well, that's what crappy units do. What I'm saying is all those other examples occupy space on the table and do something
And
cool.
you have an impact on the game. Yeah, exactly.
And grots do nothing.
No, they deliver fanatics, but that doesn't matter.
Fanatics are pretty good.
But yeah, it's
Not enough for me to.
But it's 2 things though. You have to pay for the grots and then pay for the fanatics.
Yeah, it is. It is rough.
Yeah.
It is rough.
It's not easy being green.
It is not easy being green. I see what you did there. Yeah. All right, well, we're going to hit the chat one more time. Let's see if we can squeeze a little extra. I got... Holy cow, there's a bunch of comments.
About how wrong we are, probably.
My ball's commenting, destruction is unga bunga, chaos is elite combat.
Yeah, but like the Unga Bunga only works sometimes. That's the identity. They think
They think they're good at combat.
yeah. Sorry, the rules designers think the identity is it has to be random. Everything is random, right? We said the spell goes off, then the ability of the spell might work, right? I mentioned fanatics. They might get attacks. They might move 12 inches. They might move 2 inches.
But the response to that, the retort would be, yeah, but that's the identity of destruction.
Yeah, but it's not good.
It's not a good identity.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Like if
It's
you're
not.
starting, your design point starts from, this is a faction of idiots.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where do you finish off from that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Where do you go from that?
No, it's
Like when all the other factions are like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I am great. I am
Yeah.
one of the best armies in the game. They end off in pretty good spots.
yeah, exactly. This
When an entire
doesn't.
faction, the design team decides these are knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Where do you go from that?
Yeah, exactly. The identity doesn't. It's bad. It's bad.
It's
Worse than bad.
it's not great.
No.
We got Dead Man in the chat. Review of goblins. Same reason dark elves are in cities and slaves can't get a wizard on a horse. You're not wrong. They have no wizards on a horse.
Got a guy on a disc, but yeah, there's no wizard on a horse.
Yeah.
No.
Shrine doesn't revive chariots. You're kidding me. Was I wrong about that?
I looked at the book.
I'm not. No, you're not. You're not breaking my heart. I am not looking. You get out of here.
I'll look at it.
Are you telling me, Vinegar, that all those chariots can't even get recycled?
That's amazing.
Wasn't it any goblin
know.
unit?
Let's
I thought it was
find
any unit.
It's the worst.
Like they could regenerate trolls, right?
They can regenerate trolls, yes.
Bro, you are just.
Also, sorry.
Oh, what's that?
The shrine costs 1 command point. Don't forget that to bring stuff back.
But that's okay. At least it's guaranteed. I'm actually completely cool with that. I think that's a quality.
A
That's
friendly
a good thing.
non-hero, non-monster, non-war machine. Gloom Spike gets
My
units.
God! So you can't even bring him back.
Not that you're gonna play this list anyways, but yeah, that's the thing. Other armies have almost no restrictions, minus it being heroes.
So Dead Man chiming in. I mean, that's what goblins are doing in third. Sounds like old water elves
What?
army rule where you only really cared about one phase. Next comment was about 30 squig bounders.
No, but Moonclan Grot's last edition got buffs for being so many dudes.
Yeah.
And then you had hero support that actually mattered.
In AOS 1, I'm going to say AOS 1, goblins were bonkers. Yeah, well, like, they were one of the best melee armies in the game, which didn't make any...
The wildest of the West.
Yes, yeah. But it was fun.
Yeah, it's different.
I have very fond memories of playing AOS 1. I really, really do. And it was Wild West, and things were absolutely insane. Yeah. Even before there were no... Well, no. There were no points. That was insane.
Start, yes.
And then when points came, it was still insane.
Yeah, of course.
But it was an enormous amount of fun. Like, I really, really enjoyed the AOS in its early days. And it just got better over time, like a fine wine.
Yeah.
But there is a point, apparently, where wine starts going
bad.
Going bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the comments.
You were
so far
enlightened on
Boom.
Book's not out yet, sort of. It is. But
it is out. It came out in its in that box set.
All the skeleton stuff.
The skeleton box set, the Bony Boys.
Which is all very good stuff.
So tell me about this book, Josh. Go.
Oh, the book's great. No, not great. It's okay. It's okay. Before we knew the points, there was definitely a point of caution with the Barrow Knights, right? Because they have built-in recursion every phase, they get a whole 3-wound 4-up save model back. You need to kill the entire unit to get rid of it, right? They don't do much damage. Yeah, they do +1 friend or whatever it is. They have crit mortals, something like that on the charge.
They did not suck. Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're still good. The points they gave them, 210, 220, is good. If it was below that, would have been an issue, right? The Barrow Lord, the new horse guy, gives them a ward save.
There's a Lord and...
Yeah, you don't care the other one. The new one. There's the king and there's the Lord. Whatever the better one is, gives them a ward save of 5+.
Yeah.
If they're in combat range or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now you have a 4-up save, 3-wound model, 5+ ward save that you get a model back every end phase.
We're getting very granular.
But say, yes, good. The book is good.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. They lost a lot of stuff, but they also gained a lot of stuff. It does feel very different than the Index does. And
really does.
They got faction terrain. So.
They also got faction terrain.
Yeah.
The faction terrain is not...
Amazing, no. It's good in the one Army of Renown, better in the Army of Renown.
Yes.
For skeletons.
One of my favorite ones.
It's very good. Yeah. You play just all skeletons now. It's actually good. This book is fine. The book is fine.
I love this book.
It's not a problem. So.
I love this book.
And again, new beautiful models. Again,
beautiful models.
Yeah.
That team just kills it every single freaking time. What I love about this book, and again, I'm just going to talk broad strokes. I'm not going to go into details. Is as you page through this book, you're like, oh, "This is good.
Yeah,
this is good. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is all right, I guess, but not terrible."
Yeah.
And like you're like going through it, and I'm like, I struggle to find a war scroll that I'm like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Even Kreitza.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's got a gimmick.
Yeah.
He gets the peace out on a 3+. And he's still a vampire lordy guy. He doesn't have a wizard, I don't think.
No, what's important for things like if it's your turn and you have to peace out, go on objective, or if it's their turn.
Plan for next, exactly.
They're like, I gotta kill this guy. You're like, well, 3 up, you don't kill this guy. Right?
Yeah, and he's not, and the things that operate on the margins of the game are not necessarily always heavy hitters.
No, exactly.
So Kreitza's a real threat in that theater.
And like the army plays the way you think it would play.
Yes.
Right? Nothing is crazy heavy hitting, minus like their actual heavy caps, so Blood Knights or Vordry.
Vordry's a monster.
Whose rules are actually crazy in the sub-faction. But anyways.
He might actually be a problem, but...
well, yeah, yes. But like, the army doesn't do a crazy amount of damage outside those two things, really. And it shouldn't. It's just skeletons, right? They're just bones flapping around and stuff.
Skeleton zombies. Zombies are represented.
But his zombies...
Doggos are still great.
I found the
One of my
Battle War
absolute
scroll.
favorite space occupiers is...
amazing.
Oh,
but that's what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to grind you down, right? And score battle tactics, hold objectives, and all that kind of stuff. And when things die, they come back. It's great, right? So like, it does what it's supposed to do, and it feels like, hey, I'm this guy controlling this undead army and everything. It feels right.
Oh, it feels so good. I even like both of the sub factions in this.
Other ones renowned are amazing. Yeah.
I just like, yes, one is obviously great.
Yeah.
With the Blood Knights.
Yeah.
And Vordry and all that. But I love the skeleton faction.
Is so cool.
It's so cool, so thematic. And now I'm like going, wait a second. What defined good? Why did I think some books were great?
Yeah.
Yes, they were competitive, and that's part of it. But also super cool and thematic is another reason. And I think this is
100%.
the best book.
For that stuff, yeah.
Of so far, this is the absolute best book. And I want to make something really, really clear. It is not because it's a late book. Because all this was almost written at the same time.
Yeah.
This book was not a response to market.
Nope.
It was already in print.
Yeah, it's been
done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been done. The next one's already been done too.
Yeah, exactly.
So is the next one after that.
Yeah, the next 2 books are already written. It's the ones after that, they're new.
Like we're talking like into next year.
Sounds right.
Where they'll actually be responding
with a new book.
With a new way of approach to the book. Yeah. And maybe we won't actually get
Index plus or minus.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, which this book doesn't feel like Index plus or minus. It feels very different from the Index.
You know why it feels different?
We got it. Again, this is fucking
right there.
Yeah, there you go. That's off center, but
yeah, whatever.
Point is, yes. No, someone cared about this, right?
Someone cared deeply about this army, and it shows everywhere.
Yeah.
It shows in the war scrolls. It shows in the balance between all of them, the internal balance of this book. It shows in how cool and thematic all the rules are in the book. The fact that I like the fact that Kreitza bounces out.
Yeah.
Why? He's a rat.
Exactly.
He's a rat guy.
He's literally made of rats.
Yeah. He's like, it's so cool. That's such a neat. The fact that they took the time, it's the little things.
Yeah, exactly.
They took the time to think about it. That comes from a place of love, folks. Yeah. And that's why this book is great. And why the ones I said that were not great are not great. They don't give a rat's butt. And it shows in their work.
Yeah, exactly.
When they care, bingo.
Yeah. No,
you get this. That's their neighbors.
Okay.
That's
fine.
All right.
Insurance, right?
You get this. Absolutely phenomenal book. Yeah. Anyone who plays Soulblight should be. Yeah. I'm not saying you're better than Stormcast. That's not what I'm saying.
No, not competitively the best book, but from from that place of caring about it, and everything just feels right. Like it's good.
I love this book.
I am almost jealous as a Slaves player. Almost jealous.
I love this book. I love this book as, if we're talking spectrums.
Yeah.
That would be the spectrum.
We went back from mansion to trailer park. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the spectrum.
Yeah.
And then all the other books fall within these
somewhere
two.
there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
These 100%. Two. Lowest of the low, and the guy who really cared about doing the work he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'd be hilarious. I would love to be the fly if this was the same person.
Guy. What's
the same person? Oh, that would just
that's why I stopped writing who wrote the actual book and say design team. Right?
Yeah. But I mean, I would love to know.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
I would love to know who it was, so that I can make a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Holy cow, we got a super chat from Bulldog Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Bam, 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 bam.
I called him out with Bellacore.
You did call him out with Bellacore. It is true. That is definitely Yuri. Thank you very much for the kindness, Yuri. You're the man.
What did he say?
What do I say?
What did he say?
Oh, he said, make out.
That's the after hours show, man.
For $6.99. If you said $69.99.
So close, man.
Yeah, sorry,
Do
man.
it. Yeah.
1 decimal away.
With that super chat, you could afford one of those Gloomspite chariots for that list. Ah, man.
Oh, God.
Pay for the addiction somehow.
This has been a combination of heartbreaking and joy. I got to tell you that. So let's go Dead Man. Dead Man. Vampires were my go-to in fantasy, but in AOS they've always been a casual, unfriendly. So ended up going Chaos. You're saying that they're a little too hard, they're too good. I don't think this is too good. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the Blood Knights with Vordry, that sub-faction specifically, is,
charging.
if you haven't heard, is like the...
Even, yeah.
is
It's very good.
the hard spiky. That is the spiky.
I don't know. I don't know if they're like old vampire counts in fantasy were definitely a lot more. I hate saying NPE, but we're a lot more NPE than Soulblight has been.
Yeah,
But that's a totally different game, and mechanics are totally different.
I really like Soulblight.
No, they're good.
I really love that book. I can't say it enough, man. If you are a fan of that army, you should be
I'm
so
just
happy.
commenting on Soulblight not being casual friendly, and I don't see it. Maybe before when you could take 120 zombies back when they had 1 million attacks and mortals.
That wasn't fun. No.
But that's a whole edition ago, and early an edition ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't define this book from index to this book.
No.
No one's gonna rage quit against you, or they shouldn't do it.
No.
So again, the army plays the way you want it to play, and as a Soulblight player, you should really like it. So
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah.
You better
I
like
agree.
it.
I agree.
Mark.
Oh man, Levancho, sexiest hair from the sexiest person. Well, obviously, he's talking about my
Following
beard.
your beard. Yeah. Levon now, so Yuri's brother. Perfect. I'm glad.
Vinegar, around the GHB release, they said they were kind of going to get our own semi-Grotmus for four
Yes.
formations, yes, artifacts, traits, etc. Do you think this might help with the issues with the current unimpressive tomes?
So it really depends what it is. So the big difference between if you compare both games quickly, 40K went from 1 detachment to 6. AOS saw that, I imagine, and said, hey, we can't just do 1 detachment, it's not enough, let's do 4. But it's gone 4 to 4 with, I don't think there's any changes between most of them from index to this. Not that I can think of right now.
I can't think of any.
The Grotmus stuff, it has potential to be good.
Oh, sorry, no, the destruction ones got worse.
There's potential, obviously, right? Because like nothing changed, right? So we
Yeah.
had 4 to 4, something changed.
Yeah.
Yes, but they'd have to be really good, is the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like, what makes the armies that are very good competitively right now? So we look at just Stormcast and Slaves of Darkness. It's not the sub-factions. There's no good sub-faction slaves at all. It's purely War Scrolls and the battle traits.
And the reason why he's saying that, because what's the default choice?
It's God's Wrath Warband, so
that's it.
It's terrible. It only happens on your turn.
It's not terrible,
It's not
but
good.
it's terrible because it's the only viable
The only
choice.
one, yeah. You could play Dark Oath Horde, but then it's different. Doesn't matter. Point is, not good. Stormcast, same thing, right? It's all their battle traits. The teleport's all in there. As an army, you get the teleport of Stormcast. You get Finest Hour as Stormcast. All that stuff, right? There's nothing in the bad books that help it at all. The battle traits aren't amazing. The formations aren't amazing.
What are we talking about right now?
Any of the books that are not good.
So the ones that are not good,
yeah.
the point you're trying to make is,
So the things that make the army aren't good, is what it comes down to.
so I'll
Yeah.
abbreviate. It's a fundamental problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're talking fundamental, you're talking foundational.
Yeah.
And
It's
if I'm
not
going to
good.
try, we could toss other F words, but you get what I'm throwing down.
Fun is not one of those words.
Changing one war scroll does not fix
No.
the complete lack of care
No, exactly.
that was put into a bad book.
Yeah, one war scroll or one formation or whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Would it be nice if my Maw Crusher hit boss, the
Yeah.
guy in charge of everyone,
Everything, yeah.
fought better than everyone else in his guy, and that's why he was leading?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice.
But it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it would be nice if my Maw Crusher had an extra rend,
Yes.
just like the dragon in this.
Yes.
Rend 2, why? Because he's a dragon, Lionel.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah, and this is a Maw Crusher on the same size base,
Yeah.
equally pretty
Oh,
much
he's
as
an orc
large,
dragon. Yeah, exactly.
even
Who's
flexing
alive.
the same.
Not muscles, because zombie dragons have muscles.
Rend 1, would it be nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be nice.
But it doesn't save the whole army.
No, it doesn't. Like, why is it so
Yeah.
much, like, the book overall, like, Iron Jaws are closer to being awesome or good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aggravating, more like sand in your underpants type of things. Like, I have a lot of, like, abrasive issues with Iron Jaws.
Yeah.
Whereas when it goes to Gits, I am at a loss of words how that book got
No.
pushed through.
And that's the
like,
with the
I
book
am a
armies.
complete
Yeah.
awestruck on as I flip through the pages of the book, I'm like going, how did this get approved?
Get checkmarked. Yeah.
How did that guy get paid money writing this? And then his boss went, high five, great job.
Yeah, here's the next one. Here, write this whole white book. You did a great job. Yeah.
I care about this one.
But yeah, no. The short answer is no. Unless it's really outstanding, fixing a war scroll or adding a battle formation won't do anything. Not enough. It has to be very good. It has to be, so back to 40K, it has to be what Mordaka was before the nerf.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, you don't want that.
No, you don't. But,
No, you don't want that.
But that's the thing. It has to be that drastic, though, which if you don't play 40K, you don't understand. The point is, it took a really bad army, made it very good for 2 weeks, and then they realized, oh, we can't do this.
Oops, bait, switch.
Is what comes down.
Oh, did you spend money on all those things? Well, now the thing's bad.
Did you buy a million shooters? Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think when they do their adjustments on the war scrolls, formations, enchantments, I think it will have an effect. Will it be enough to push some of this stuff and change the personality of what makes it a bad book? No. Will it improve the quality of life of that army? I believe it will. It certainly can't be bad,
No,
right?
it can't get it worse.
It cannot make it worse.
Yeah.
So if they go, hey, Mangler Squig, you're actually going to be good now, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Because that part of that book, that is the weakest link somehow of the entire section of that book.
Yeah.
That doesn't fix the book, though.
No, exactly.
No, the rest of the book and the lore. When I tell you that the lore for Gitz is the worst in the entirety of the game, please understand, although a biased opinion, is not inaccurate.
It's interesting. Again, it's meant to be wacky
Manifestation
and stuff.
lore.
Oh no.
The absolute worst in the game. I cannot express how bad that lore is, but yet you can get an artifact that allows you to cast an extra spell. Woo-wee.
All my amazing spells.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, no, it's not great. So yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot to do. Will it help? It will. Like if they changed and adjusted Maw Crusher or they changed and adjusted Gorgruntus.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
If they adjusted Gorgruntus, that could be a whole definition of a book. Like that could actually move the needle
Something
significantly.
like for that. Yeah. Because that book, at least it's just above bad.
Yeah, and if they went to like Stormcast, what's a war scroll that Stormcast aren't using that's new and it's tragic that it sucks?
New and it sucks.
I don't.
Nothing that's in the.
I can't think of anything currently right now. Even the troops that you like, they still serve a purpose. They're great. Vexers are great.
Yeah, I played
Guys with spears are great. Vindictors, I think is what they're called.
Yep. Yeah, no, because like even like the new heroes that came out are still fine.
Solid.
Yeah, like the wing guy you don't see, but I saw him on the weekend. I played against him. He was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing that's terrible.
No. I don't know.
That's the thing, like, so like, yeah. But like, it also shouldn't be like, make this thing bad to make this thing good. It's,
No. Yeah. But I do like the idea of them revisiting and they're trying.
Yeah, well, there's things that need to change.
And at least it's an expression of that. All I'm asking is to them to do their job ahead of time and they don't have to do this.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine what it is being in charge of a department that has to pull in that much money under a timeline. So,
the stress is probably unimaginable, right?
Like, I can't imagine that that's going to be a really comfortable position.
Yeah.
And again, you can't fake love. You just can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't force someone to love you. You can't force someone to love the project that they're working on.
Exactly.
And it's just going to fall through the cracks. Unfortunately, it falls squarely on the department head to filter that.
Yeah.
And then he has to make the call on, timelines and schedules and maybe he pushes it through. Nevertheless.
That's the thing, right? Like, it's probably a lot easier to just put a stamp on it, say go, than rewrite everything, right?
Yeah, I don't envy.
Oh no, it's not an easy job. Right?
Yeah, I don't envy that.
But
I'm not going to tell you that I regret anything I said.
No,
sorry, pal. That's don't care if you're Canadian.
On you.
And I mean, suck is suck, great is great.
Yeah.
What you did great is great. What sucks really sucks, and it just happens to be in the same gang alliance.
Just play Giants then.
Why?
Just play Giants.
What are Giants? What are Giants other than Prize Beast and Kragnos?
You don't need Kragnos.
That's true. Someone, I believe that.
You can do King Broad.
I believe, what's his name? The guy from Coach actually
Coach played not
LVO,
Kragnos.
no
Actually,
Kragnos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was very, very impressive. Congratulations to him. I think he went 5-0 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he really
That's
well.
pretty freaking awesome.
But the thing with Giants is, yes, prize beast. So I played Giants a lot end of last edition, right?
Yeah.
The big thing was we lost save stacking because Forbes saves doesn't do enough.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff was able to hit on 3s, 2s, whatever. Everything hits on 4s. Yeah, so prize beast, great. But there's still tools. There's still tools in that book that let you hit better. They recently changed the weapon profiles for Giants for their kicks. They got 2 extra attacks on their kicks. That's huge.
Yeah, that's
right. And then you have more damage, and then you have models that count as whatever 20 on an objective.
And definitely in that specific index, man, if you had adjust some enhancements and adjust a war scroll, that'll have massive.
Well, that's what they did too. The Beast
massive
Smasher,
impact.
They changed Beast Smasher. They changed a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if someone loves Giants, but the book is fine. Out of all 4
There's
destruction
no book.
books,
Okay, let's not
the
say
index.
The index is fine.
The index is fine.
I'm not gonna lie, please don't work on another destruction book.
Whoever you are.
Just don't work. No, just don't.
Yeah.
Leave it till the bitter end.
Yeah.
Have my book come out after you learn
the
everything.
Week before
the week before.
the new
It's good for 1 week. I'll take that.
Yeah.
over you releasing more destruction books. Just don't.
Wow, that's bad.
Just don't. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, with evidence, right? Yeah, it's rough. Is there more
There's
comments?
only 4 factions.
I know.
All right, so let's go to Dead Man. Going back to Legion of Nagash, when I first started, they were just hard to play into. Yeah, fair enough.
All Morghast were bust. Well, they're still really good.
Darktron, if it for Skaven, that be a no. Skaven need more help on some. Yeah, he's basically responding to the comments.
100%, yeah. So
Skaven need a lot happening.
Well, because all they have is the teleport thing, right? They have teleport, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Their other sub factions don't matter too much. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's their faction tree.
Vinegar, best thing I can say for the Battle Tomes is the Path of Glory, Anvil Apotheosis with the character creators. Those have been amazing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm 100% with this guy. I really dig the whole Apotheosis, not for competitive play, but I love it. That's the reason I own the books, by the way.
The idea, it's all books.
Because it's only, the Apotheosis, just to explain, the Apotheosis stuff is only in these books.
Yeah.
So if you want to create your own campaign with your buddies, where each one of you custom make a character, and then faff around on this cool map and level up.
It's neat.
It's only in these books. That's the reason to get the cool book.
Yeah.
Other than it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Sorry.
It's fine. I don't play Path of Glory, so it doesn't. But
whatever.
The idea is cool. Is
it's
the point.
Fun.
Okay. So we'll Spearhead. Relax.
That guy has to be our PM. That guy. Don't work on destruction, but please don't. Please don't work on more destruction books. Oh my God.
Even so.
For the love of all that's holy.
Back to the example from earlier, right? So the onset of the edition with ogres, right? Back to destruction, because it has to be. Just okay.
I'm here with you.
Reinforces your point about this. Foot ogres, amazing. Dominate everything. Do 1,000,000 mortal wounds.
They were not dominating everything.
They're doing really well. Yes.
They were not dominating.
Okay.
Anything.
Anyways,
there was a week where they were dominating, and then the meta settled down, and then they got nuked into the sun.
So that's my point. They were doing really well. And then GW's like, they should cost more. No, they do well for.
Come on!
But then they made monster trucks, which were the old good thing.
Yeah.
Okay-ish.
Yeah.
And then now they're not okay. So both builds are just not doable. My point was that
monster trucks are good now.
They are, but things would not need to change it again. And they made the foot ones go down again to almost where they were before.
Almost. We're almost back to what they were, and no one gives a crap.
But that's the thing,
why
right?
the whole army's glass.
Well, and it's destruction. But that's my point, to give a real world example, not 16 chariots, 3 doom, like it actually happened, right? People had all these ogre bodies, and then if you bought into it,
which I did. I also own a massive ogre collection of nothing but dad bods. Guys that look like you, buddy. I love it.
I'm also a dad. It's perfect.
That's why you're here, because I love you. You're like my secret crush or something.
We were asked to make out.
Remind me of my ogre army.
We were asked to make out, just not for enough money. But point is, it's a real world example of something like that actually happening, right? So, which sucks and is doesn't feel good, and there's no pivot point, right?
That's my issue is nothing in Destruction feels good.
No.
Like it doesn't feel good. Like even when they corrected ogres and they made monster trucks, and you're like going, this feels like a slapdash, kind of like, here you go, guys, so you can stop complaining.
Yeah,
there's no love.
It's only
because the war scrolls are not good.
No, it's only because it's guaranteed mortal wounds.
They guarantee mortal wounds, great. Yeah. So you give a vehicle for mortal wounds, no care, no consideration, no design.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel.
You know why that doesn't matter? Because do care. You have to love,
you have to
and
care
they just
exactly.
effing don't. They just do not.
And it's weird because it's a whole Grand Alliance.
It's a whole Grand Alliance.
Care about.
A whole Grand Alliance.
But do you know what makes ogres better? Kragnos.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But this is a design issue, right? Like, your list starts with Kragnos.
So the guy...
All 4 armies.
So the guy who is the god of destruction, who doesn't look anything like his entire faction at all, right? That they had a file of lying around. They're like, gosh darn, do we have time to construct? No, we don't got time to do that. Grab something off the hard drive. Yeah, that's fine. Throw it this. This will be the god of destruction. That's how much care went into that. And they tried to spread the story like, oh, we didn't know he was always the god of destruction. So you're telling me the design team that designed every single one of these gorgeous models we commented on missed one time?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, exactly.
I don't think so.
It's
I don't think so. I don't think that design team with as many people involved in the projects that they're in, they've mitigated failure to the point where I don't think like they're just amazing.
Everything is spot on. Exactly.
Yeah, they're just amazing. That model was designed for something entirely. Yeah. Now here's a concept. We're going to end the show here because this has obviously been really long.
Yeah, not
Hopefully
half an hour.
You've been enjoying this. We might as well take the time right now. If you haven't done so and you like this, first give a thumbs up for Josh.
Yeah. Hit that bell and stuff too.
Boom. And then hit that button like this.
Yeah. It says
like
subscribe.
Just wind up and just like, dude.
Poke at it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wait, if you do too many times, you subscribe and then unsubscribe.
Well, if you do it,
okay, just do it once.
Just subscribe.
Just that.
If you're subscribed, don't press it again.
Don't press it again. Walk away.
Yeah. Make a new account and then hit it. Yeah.
Also, good idea. Make another account and go once. No.
That's it. Just once. Okay. Poke it one time.
Where was it going? Oh yeah, Donkey Man. So Donkey Man would make a really cool army. Like, could you picture an army of centaurs? And the centaurs were the size of, say...
A mountain?
Maw Gruntas.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I know that sounds all the same, but the big pigs.
Yeah.
The big pigs. So, smaller than Kragnos, because obviously Kragnos is the alpha male. But an entire army of nothing but centaurs.
They were that size? Yeah, for sure.
And that would have been the army. And then Kragnos goes from absolute zero to hero. Like, all of a sudden, oh man, I want that army.
When they previewed it, I'm like, okay, here we go. We're going to get Kurnothi finally. So like Centaur, War Dancer, old Wood Elf stuff.
Yeah.
And then like they zoom out. I'm like, okay, maybe it's Beastman. That's cool. Well, it's not either of those. It's something totally different. I would rather,
the God of Destruction. What?
He's not very destructive.
Man, I truly wish I could make this video like mandatory watch for that design team. I can tell you that. All right, well, I think we approached the end. I'm going to hit the chat one more time just to see if...
Are you subscribed to your channel?
What's that?
Are you subscribed to your own channel?
I automatically am.
Oh.
I tried to like hit multiple times, but
I'm subscribed.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work. All right, so let's go. Let's go to... Oh, man, Vinegar just hitting it. Second editing had lots of issues, but I did like how much flavor and stuff each battle tome had. Sub-factions with their own traits and artifacts. Wasn't entirely balanced at all, but was super fun. I guess he's talking about previous editions, maybe?
Yes. It depends what it is, because so the issue came down to... so with that stuff, you could have a really bad sub-faction, but really good traits, right? Like, remember Daughters of Cain last edition?
Yeah.
Right? So you would take the oh my gosh, the Iron Scale, the hero, the Snake Lady hero.
Yeah.
You would give her 4-up rally for everything within 12 or whatever it was.
Pretty good.
Which is very good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Right? And that's before we consider army-specific battle tactics.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there are times, like, yes, ideally if you hit all three, you have a good sub-faction, good artifact, good hero trait, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But there's times where those things don't matter, and you just want, I want this thing because it's better than everything else, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yes, no, was fun.
Deadman asking if there's anything streaming this weekend. We are doing an event this weekend, but it is going to be Horus Heresy.
Ooh,
we're doing our conclusion of our league.
That's cool.
That is not going to be filmed. That is not going to be
3,000 points
streamed.
per person or whatever?
It is 3,000 points a person, or 2,500 in this case, actually. And these guys are just having a good time, and we're doing, I love, and you're like, oh, Lon, you're so competitive. It's like, I am, and I'm not. Yeah. I love narrative stuff.
Yeah, and Heresy plays the way it's supposed to, too.
And I love playing armies that I find that are cool.
Yeah.
And although I like to be as competitive as I can, I am as competitive as I can with probably the worst armies in the game, generally.
Yeah,
speaking.
you can do as well as you want with the things that you like, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
But next week we have AOS.
But the week after, so not this weekend, but the week after, we stream AOS. We just got off the back of a 40K stream over this past weekend. So then now it's AOS. That's part of the last qualifier, actually. For our Invitational Series. That should be a lot of fun. Okay. And that will also be streamed. Okay, so, and then we go to my balls. You know they can't do that because Bach went...
Beast of Chaos?
Yeah, went to Old World. I mean, they could do that. You could have centaurs. You could have a centaur. I mean, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
So, unless, like, it depends on how far ahead they planned to get rid of Beastmen and Bone Splitters, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Because we got Kragnos at the middle-ish of third.
Yeah.
Because that was the first wave of campaign books, so middle-ish of third. I doubt they planned that far ahead, because that's near Old World launch.
Yeah.
Yes, Old World announced Beastmen were coming out or whatever.
Yep.
But like, Sylvaneth have a Centaur character in the old Underworlds warband.
Yeah, it was a
super
deer.
Cool. Yeah, which is super cool. I would love
really,
that.
They were
right?
called Cardathi, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So that would be cool to come out with. We'll see what they do. Who knows what they have planned. That's not it's not already out.
Man, I would love that Beastman army.
Yeah,
What is
cool.
truly ironic is they announced that the army's being discontinued, and then released the best version of Beastman they've ever released. And I'm not talking from a purely competitive perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an enormous amount of love poured into the rules for an army they were going to discontinue casually, because there's no love on Bone Splitters.
No, exactly.
Like, there's no reason to play them other than you have the collection.
Yeah.
And then you personally like the models.
Yeah.
But the rules for Beastman, it just seems like...
That's great.
It seems like to me that it was all go, green light for this army.
Yeah.
And then the rug got pulled from underneath them. Because that's an awful lot of energy and design to just discontinue.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends too. Like, whatever infighting apparently exists at GW doesn't help either, right? Because they don't like cross-pollinating stuff anymore. So you can't have Beastmen in Old World and have it in AOS.
This is a very English problem. I'm going to say right now,
odd.
It is a very, very English problem. And when I say English, I mean, when you go to the UC, you are greeted by the most wonderful people. Like, they really are awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
They're super, super nice until they interact with each other.
It's weird because depending on where you are, like in England, you're like, I dislike these people from here, but I'm like, but you're all English. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any
Maybe
sense.
we'll have Ruben come on and explain to us.
And then they have a slight variation of their accents, like, you're from 3 hours north here, aren't you?
Yeah, but how do they know?
What?
Yeah.
3 hours? Why is that a big deal?
Exactly. It's really...
You're from this part of town.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
like
it's some weird like clandestine thing going back thousands of years.
Weirdest place. It's the weirdest place. It says United Kingdom, but you can't get more ununited than that kingdom.
Yeah, it's
like
very
they
odd.
look for excuses.
That's only one of the
to
countries
divide.
There. Yeah.
To divide. So it goes that the company operates that way.
The same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very very stratified. Where like sales staff look down upon warehouse staff, and then the guy who makes £1 more an hour looks down on the other guy who makes.
Weird. Well, even like just like the game teams, right? Like some good has come out of it. Like we got the new Barrow Knights. The old Black Knights are gone now.
Yeah.
Old Graveguard are gone, right? Which means we get new Hex Wraith and stuff. So like, it's cool. Like it helps update kits.
Yeah.
But like it also doesn't help people who
not for
have
those reasons.
Beastmen.
It's so weird.
No, exactly. You have
so
Beastmen and
weird.
you love Beastmen. I know you're out there, Matthias, you're watching this. It sucks, right?
And they're so cool.
Yeah.
Like the army's just so cool. Anyway, we've been talking way too long,
more than half an hour.
and we got off on a little bit of a tangent at the same time.
Yeah.
I am going to say thank you so much for coming out.
No worries. Thank you for having me. It's good. I enjoy these
man,
talks.
my man came from a little ways away from here,
Yeah.
and I do appreciate you making the effort to come out, pal.
Anytime.
I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight, being on the stream, and then watching the stream later. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. We are trying to close in on 2,000 subscribers, and we're like really far away from that. But with your help, we can get there.
Make
and we
all
do
those
appreciate
accounts. Make all those new accounts.
Yeah,
Takes
all
2
those new
seconds.
accounts. Yeah, exactly. Just make more accounts.
It's easy.
Just fluff up the numbers. That's all. I'm not saying to do that.
No, it's suggested.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. All right. With that, folks, have a phenomenal night, a wonderful morning, and a great afternoon wherever you are in the world.